Well, let's get back to it.
Aye, all. So Britain could face a corruption inquiry following the decision to halt the serious fraud office investigation into a multi-billion-pound Saudi arms deal, the world's leading economic body warned. The Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development signalled that it would mount an investigation as a defiant Tony Blair took full responsibility for the decision. You see, we signed up to this thing with the OECD. It's called the Anti-Bribery Convention, which stresses that investigations should not be influenced by considerations of national economic interest, the potential effect on relations with another state, or the identity or legal... I don't know, who cares? I'm pretending that none of that exists. Sounds guilty to me. Downing Street brushed aside calls from Sir John Major for a full inquiry into the Iraq War after a former British diplomat revealed that the government had not believed that Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction posed a threat to the UK. Tony Blair's justification for the war states that there had been no intelligence that Saddam had chemical or biological nuclear weapons. British officials had repeatedly warned the US that the dictator's overthrow could trigger chaos. It's like, we told you so. We were the ones that were standing outside the pub in the car park going, no, George, it's not worth it. But anyway, nobody cares about any of that. Tony Blair's Tony Blair's time at the top is ending in, well, it's a giant bucket of swill, really, isn't it? It couldn't possibly have been going worse for him. But nobody's remotely interested, because it's Ray and Leona on the X Factor Showdown. Isn't that great?
No!
Have they won yet? Have they lost yet? No one's really interested, because no one's going to be buying their music anyway. Could it be any hotter in here? Struth, I came in, it was like a fridge. You turn it just a fraction. You turn this thing just a fraction, and it goes berserk, almost like it's having a strop. Oh, well, you didn't like that, did you?
Take your vest off.
I've never known an air conditioning unit like it. It's like, it does seem to go into, like a hissy fit.
The trouble is, you have to just touch it a tiny bit.
I know. Like, if you don't like that temperature, it goes, all right, have this then. It's punishing me now. I just spent the last week stroking a cat. And you know what? It's the most calming thing I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah, all the, you know how, what a tense and stressful job this is.
Well, yeah.
All the tension just dripped off me as I was ministering to the cat.
Really?
Yeah. It was great.
Did it not do that horrible thing where it stood on you and did that funny claw thing in your leg?
Yeah, what is that?
I hate that.
It's constantly requiring stroking, yet while it's being stroked, it's always doing the thing with its claws, which...
I think that means it's happy.
Yeah, but it's doing it to the person that's stroking it, but it's also painful to the person that's... It's like an S&M thing.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Cats are unpredictable. They're not my pet of choice.
That's why you've got mice.
Yeah, thanks.
That's actually not why she's got mice. She's got mice because she believed the estate agent who said, oh, this is a lovely place. Just the place for you. We've got all modern conveniences. You've got a football field on one side, a kebab shop on the other, a knocking shop over the road.
You're always selling it, aren't you?
And hot and cold running rats on every surface. How do you like the house so far?
I hate it! And it comes with its own pets. Great.
Do you actually have mice?
We think there might be one. Although I haven't actually seen it for a while. I've bought this little device.
What do you mean, one? There'll be, if there's one, there's 100.
Don't say that.
Scrabbling all up in the wall cavities.
Clive Bull was saying that. He said, there's never one, there'll be a family.
Yeah.
That really cheered me up.
And they're having sex all the time.
Oh,
isn't that disgusting?
No. They have sex within about 12 weeks of being born.
Hideous.
Oh.
When the son finds out about that...
50 a night romp.
But I've got a little device that I've stuck in and it clicks, and apparently that deters the mice, and I haven't seen any dropping since I've plugged it in.
You've got a what?
It's a little device that you plug in, and it's not supposed to be heard by human ears, but I can hear it.
Does it also repel teenagers?
Oh, well, maybe. Maybe I should give it a go. But it sort of goes... But you can hear it. I can even hear it in the next room. Maybe I've got special super ears. Do you think?
I don't know. Take your headphones off and I'll have a look. Here's our first one in Whitechapel. Hello, Shah.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate.
No one's concerned about the thousands of people we've killed.
Could you nail that down for us? Which 1,000 people?
The Iraqis.
No one's concerned about them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like a news update. No one's concerned about them. Is that the spirit of Christmas? I don't think so. I was covered in cat hair from... I washed everything, and I think it's still covered in cat hair. It's like I'm wearing a jumper.
What colour was the cat?
Like black and white and brown all over.
Right.
You know, one of those cats.
One of those tabby jobs.
How can they lose so much hair and yet still have hair on their bodies?
I don't know.
Like, you'll brush them in the morning. You brush them and comb them and do all of that stuff, yeah. Otherwise you get meow, meow,
You've been
meow.
very attentive, haven't
Well,
you?
that was my job. I was cat-sitting.
Oh. But do you think you had to sit there all the time stroking it? Was that part of the job?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Oh.
Because it gets lonely.
What did it eat? Cat food?
Food out of a box.
You didn't
yeah.
make it any sort of organic,
Of course
indulgent
not.
treats?
No.
Well, it's Christmas. Little bit of turkey, little bit of cod.
No.
Oh no, not the cod, it's run out.
But how can a cat lose so much hair and yet still have hair on its body? I'm mystified by that. Because, as I say, you'll brush it and comb it, and on this ball of hair comes off it that looks like Tom Jones. It's like a ball of hair, you know, something like... As he often looks like something the cat coughed up, naturally. There's Tom. And the very next second, there's clouds of the stuff coming off it.
You could have made a little miniature cat out of the hair.
Could have knitted a pair of socks.
Some celebrities have done that last week, with dog hair.
No, they didn't.
They did. I saw some in the paper. They'd made a little dog, like a miniature dog, out of the hair off their dog.
Celebrities?
Yeah.
Who?
I think Carol Smiley was one of them. And depending on their dog, they had to kind of form a little dog out of the sort of scraps of hair.
And what?
Well, and that was it.
And hair and
That's
what,
lovely.
glue? Or?
Yeah, they kind of, see who could do the best one. A bit kind of Blue Peter-ish, you know.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was fun.
Here's Chester. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Yes, Mike.
Just a bit, general things about cats. We've got visiting cats, which I'm not sure who it belongs to, but it can't meow. It goes, "Uh-oh." And
Here's one in Abbey Road, which is grey. Why is it grey?
Because I was talking to Una.
Oh, right. Now it's gone pink.
Oh, you've conferenced her.
Oh.
And Mike.
Somebody should reset the studio after Ian, because the conference thing gets me every time. Now I don't know what to do. Can you do it?
Yes.
Go ahead. See.
There you go.
Touch screen technology only needs a hammer. Oh, Una.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Una.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Una.
Hello.
Yes, Una.
Pulling
teeth.
I particularly appreciate your sort of sardonic take on things.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Luce, get me a dictionary.
No, I thought I'd present you with something that's happened to me quite recently, and I just wanted to ask you what what your take would be on this situation.
Okay, present away.
Yes, I recently became 60.
How did that happen?
Well, you know, sort of born in 1946.
Oh, right. Well, you should
Yeah,
say.
right. Know what I mean? And anyway, you know that we people that reach that age are supposed to have a grant for fuel for the Christmas.
Are you?
Yeah, we're meant to get like 200 quid. So anyway, when I asked them, will that be happening? They said, no, because you were born after the 3rd week of September.
Right, well, that was so it's your own fault, really.
Exactly. So, this is the ridiculousness of government and what have you, is that all the people who were born in 1946 after the third week of September will not have this couple of £100 for their extra fuel.
Right.
So what I would like to do is, anybody out there, LBC listeners, if you were born in 1946 after the third week of September, I think we all ought to join up and march to Downing Street.
Yeah, if you can stay awake long enough, yeah.
No, well, I will, yes. It's not our fault that we were born at the end of the year, and we would like some heating.
You can come over to this studio, Una. We've got loads to spare here. I'll send some in the post, all right, and the best of luck.
Know what I mean?
No, kind of, yeah. Thanks, Una.
All the best, Nick.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta, darling.
This is LBC.
This Christmas, Abbott.
I'm listening, dear. You can talk to me.
Oh, Jessica.
Hello, Nick.
Jessica.
So, who do you think's going to win, then?
I'm not really remotely interested, because I have no intention of buying either's music.
Well, I know, but you have been watching it, haven't you?
No, I gave up. I was quite proud of myself. I thought, right, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to watch this anymore. It looks like a giant con to me, and being perpetrated on the public, and I do not wish to take part anymore.
Okay. I've been watching it selectively. I did tune in tonight specifically. When it got to Westlife coming on, I tuned out. But then I succumbed, and I tuned in just in time to Take That. I mean, it's already a given who's going to be the winner. I mean, if you've got someone singing with Westlife, which, whether you like them or not, do you like them?
Well, have a guess.
Yeah. But
no, not yes, no.
You can't deny that their fan base is going to vote for that guy far more than Leona singing with a bit of a fat. Take That.
Well, Take That are at number one in both the singles and albums charts at the moment.
Yeah, but they're
horrifyingly
a bit fatter
enough
than they were 10 years ago.
Fatter?
Yeah.
Jessica, everyone's fatter than they were 10 years ago.
How many people are going to vote for Take That as
6.
opposed to Westlife? And that's what it's come down to with what they've done with the production of this kind of programme tonight. And I think he's going to win. He's kind of a cheeky, chappy entertainer.
Oh, no, he's not an entertainer. He's just some goober they got off on the street and they put him in a shiny suit. Not an entertainer.
No, you
Bruce
know what?
Forsyth is an entertainer.
You know what? Putting all cynicism aside, he didn't do bad tonight. I mean, if you're looking for kind of a Rat Pack style...
No, I'm not. I don't even want to... Not even if the Rat Pack was still alive would I go and see the Rat Pack.
Anyway, what I think you're missing out on, yeah, and this is where you can use it to your advantage...
Yes.
...is that I did hear at one point Kate Thornton, who at least is wearing something that's fairly reasonable tonight, say that there'd been over 6.5 million votes.
They just must be laughing their faces off. That people are dumb enough to vote for this stuff. How much does it cost to vote? Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Just on votes alone, they're millionaires many times over.
Exactly. It's 35p to vote. I think you're missing out on a trick here. If you start to make your show, specifically your show, a premium rate caller show, you wouldn't get callers like the last one. Yeah. But you would be able to...
I wouldn't get callers. By this time next week, I'd be fired.
Because Simon Callow alone, I mean, assuming that BT and...
Simon Callow.
Simon Callow, yeah, Simon Cowell.
No, I think you were right first time.
Yeah, maybe. He'd be a lot more robustious about his kind of vocalisation of what he thinks.
This should almost be illegal, you think, because here's a programme that gets paid, or it's an organisation that gets paid by the television company to put the show on. Then they get paid by the viewers who are watching, which is incredible. They get paid by the advertisers who are advertising in the middle of the programme. They get paid, in America anyway, by the sponsors who will give them all cups of Coca-Cola to drink so that logos are on screen. And they get paid for the music that's released by the people who the public have paid to... it's just mind-boggling. It's a work of absolute genius.
Yeah, but isn't part of you kind of secretly seduced by that? This kind of ruthlessness to get rich on a Saturday night, no matter what, you know?
It is what it's all about, isn't it, basically? It's not they don't want their life is on the stage and they really want to entertain. They just want to be famous. And whenever they've got a little bit of that lifestyle, they've just taken them to some film opening or whatever it is, or just when everybody watches, whether the mentally deficient people queue up outside football stadiums to go and sing their heart out at the beginning, which is the funny part. It's like the local bin has just let everyone out for the day, and they all queue up to go on X Factor and are stunned at the news that they can't actually sing. There's caterwauling that strips the paint off walls, and they can't believe that they've got a no vote. That's the part that everybody likes the best, because it's like a Victorian freak show.
Well,
and we haven't changed that much in our tastes.
I would guess that Simon's made about
50, 60 million?
million out of Tonight Alone.
Tonight Alone,
in a £1 million contract.
Easily. And you know what he spent it on? Teeth whitening products.
Yeah. Well, try and incorporate into your show that kind of same philosophy. Make your show a premium rate caller show.
Right.
And take a cut of the profit.
Okay, that's an excellent idea, Jessica. I definitely won't be doing that. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. She always sounds so sensual, doesn't she?
Does she?
Yeah. Well, every time I think Jessica, I think of the rabbit, the rabbit's girlfriend in Who Killed Roger Rabbit.
Right.
Roger Rabbit's girlfriend, Jessica. And that's what she does sort of come on like that. Does she sound a bit like that, Alex? Here's gold as green. Hello, Brian.
Hi there, Nick.
Brian.
Yeah, hi there. I'm a first-time caller.
I
haven't yet heard the program, but I would just like to wish all the listeners a happy Hanukkah.
And I noticed that Lucy wrote up Happy Hanukkah, and she got spelt wrong in the first place. Did you check your diary to look at the spelling?
No, that's...
Are you spell-checking me on air?
Yes.
The words that nobody can see?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you spelled it wrong, first of all, and now it's spelled right. Did you check it in your diary?
I thought you could spell it with a C.
No, you can. That's how you spell it.
With a C, C-H.
C-H.
Yeah, I did it right.
Yeah, not first of all you didn't.
No.
At least you spelled it right, yeah.
I can't believe you notice those little things and try and point it out, even after I've corrected myself.
And we're eating lots of donuts.
Donuts?
Yeah.
Is that what you eat?
Yeah, on Hanukkah we eat donuts.
I don't know. I don't really have any idea what that is.
It's a Jewish festival.
Yeah, I know that.
8-day festival.
You're not really filling it in for us.
Maybe Mark. Hello, my friend Mark is here in the car with me.
Well, he knows more than you do.
Probably.
Here's the guy who's celebrating it. He's got no idea why. But at least they've got donuts.
Yeah.
So have you got any idea why?
I've had 2 donuts so far.
Right. And after a couple of donuts, they have an argument. The girlfriends are holding their jackets. I told you not to have that other donut. It's Rickman's... Oh, no, wait a minute. Let's have Caterham. Hello, Jean.
Hello.
Jean.
I've never spoken with you before.
Well, you have been on a lucky streak.
Yes, must be. Because at least you are a fun programme.
Yes.
And I'm of the age where I no longer have to pay for television licence, which I can't stand anymore.
Really? You get it free now?
Of course I do.
At what age do you get it free?
75.
You have to wait that long. Oh.
Yes, 75, and you get... I think it was... Last year, I think I had to pay £110.
What a gigantic rip, eh?
Yeah, a total
shocking
rip-off. But radio is much, much more fun.
Well, yeah, it's in full colour as well. And you don't have to pay for us.
No, but I would like to send a message to someone. I have been a patient of a certain eye hospital in London for a good many years, and I got on my Christmas card was a message. I heard you talking about cats on LBC.
Cats, yeah.
And that was one of the receptionists at Moorfields Eye Hospital, and I would like to say, Eileen, darling, missed you when I still go there, and will love you always.
Well, now you've saved a stamp. Glad to have helped, Jean. Thanks a lot.
Can you get?
I know, yeah. I went to Moorfields Eye Hospital once because, in one of my near-death experiences.
Another one?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I've had several. Shall I enumerate them for you?
Or could you?
No. And because I was going to get my eyes lasered, and so I went to Moorfields Eye Hospital because they were doing eye lasering, and I decided not to get it done there because there's no one who works at Moorfields Eye Hospital that even wears contact lenses, let alone has their eyes lasered. They all go around with glasses, half moons if possible, which gives you a big indication. But I had it done decades ago, like right when it first started. Yeah.
Wow, I'd love to have the guts to have that done.
Yeah.
Was it painful?
Oh, it was more painful than anything I've ever experienced in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because my sister had it done, and...
Well, that's nice, but we're talking about me.
Okay. Yeah, but hers went wrong.
Oh, really?
And that's why I can't do it.
Right, what wrong?
That's why I want to hear a good story about it. Well, the anaesthetic wore off when they went to do the second eye. So she was convulsing in the seat, and it then knocked the other eye that had just been done, so the flap came loose.
They did two at the same time?
Yeah.
All two of her eyes? Because mine, I had to wait, like 6 months or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wouldn't kid you.
Gosh. Oh, no, she was having it done at the same... Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's a much safer way of doing it.
Well, I don't think you should have them both done at the same time. I think she should check with her consultant.
Oh.
Did she get it done with a consultant, or just with the MOT on her car? While you wait. We'll do your eyeballs while you wait. Here's a special announcement for children. Are you listening to this? If you have not written to Santa, you can tell him what you want for Christmas by telling us. Now's your chance to do it through LBC. Send us your Christmas wish by phone or email, and LBC's very own Santa will read it out on the radio next Friday. Here's the number, 0207 314 7332. That's the hotline for Santa. Or you can email santa@lbc.co.uk. The hotline number again, 0207 314 7332. Just send what you want from Santa. I want trainers with wheels in them. Packet of fags. Stuff like that.
You're not allowed to ring in.
To hear Santa read your message on the radio, listen to LBC on DAB. It's a lot of letters. That's DAB Digital Radio in London only at midday Friday the 22nd. Can you believe that it's almost the 22nd of December? Yeah. Next Friday is the 22nd of December. Isn't that scary?
Very.
I'm not even done with July yet. Whatever happened to July?
July? You were hot then.
Well, thanks. I've become decrepit since. Thanks a lot, Luz. Talk about your backhanded compliment. For more information, you can go to our website, which is lbc.co.uk/Santa. So who's going to be playing Santa? Or do we actually have Santa?
It's Santa.
Right. Because if someone was playing Santa, they'd have to have Santa's physique. Who among the presenters on this radio station has Santa's physique? His rotund mien?
Breakfast?
All of us.
Show presenter?
All of us, I think. There isn't a single one who couldn't pass muster as a fake Santa, am I right?
I think you're wrong. I can't see Ian playing Santa.
Oh, no, right. Too tall.
You couldn't play Santa.
Not enough yo-ho-ho?
No, you haven't got enough girth. you need to be a bit chunkier.
Yeah. I've got plenty of length, but no girth.
We're looking at 10 inches.
I'm going to show you something.
Leona's won Celebrity X
Factor.
Not celebrity. Well, she is now. She's a celebrity. Everything that she's always wanted. I want to be famous. It's like all of them just want to be famous.
Yeah.
All teenagers today, that's all they aspire to, including those in medical school. Oh, I just want to be famous. Like that.
She did have a good voice.
That's exactly how they say it, too.
Do they?
But, you know, the shocking thing is the amount of, well, if you look at dance music, for instance, absolutely stuffed with black women with fabulous voices who you'll hear on one record that may or may not become a classic that's still being played 20 years later, and you'll never hear of them again. And these women are unbelievably talented, and the industry just chews them up and spits them out. So, you know, if she didn't have the gigantic juggernaut organisation of the Simon Cowell Industries behind her, then we would never hear of her before or since. I mean, the amount of dance records that, like Heart, for instance, would play on a Saturday night, all that great old stuff that you're all singing along to, and there are these divas belting it out, and you hear them on one record and never again.
That's true.
Yeah, there's no end of people who can sing fantastically well. It's just that they're not really, it's not in demand. It's not such a rare skill that if you're a tremendous singer, then you've got a ticket for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You should get into show business, absolutely, because it's no business like no business I know.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.
Everything about it is appealing. This is probably the best show business to be in, because it's a very low level. It's like a hum. Whereas if you're on TV, for instance, then you're exposed. You've got the great spotlight of fame swiveled upon you, and that doesn't last for very long, unless you're extremely lucky. Only people like Scylla and Bruce, and then you start to run out, who've been around for like 50 years, still doing it on television. Not many. Most people on TV have a brief flash, like most people who are singers. If any success at all, it's very brief and then it's gone. And, crucially, you will be known as that bloke in, or that woman who was on, whatever it was, for the rest of your life.
That programme.
Yeah, you'll be busy stacking shelves for the next 50 years, but you'll always be that bloke who was on Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Awful. Whereas on radio, fame never really comes our way. Never recognised in the street. Never people nudging each other in restaurants. Oh, look, it's him. Never anything like that. But you don't get any money, mind. Well, only
No, that's the payoff, isn't it?
Yeah, but the key is that, I mean, how many people in radio are like 50, 60 years old? Those people haven't come into the job at 50 and 60. This is not like some outreach programme for pensioners. They've been in doing the same thing for 50 years. Which counts for everybody, right? I mean, everybody who's a DJ, hey, who was a DJ when they were 20 will probably still be doing the same thing when they're 50 and 60 years old. They won't have got very much money, and they won't be famous, but they'll have been in continual employment.
Yeah.
I'd always thought that. I mean, I don't do radio because, as I thought, through the economic consequences, but I'd always thought that of all of the businesses in show, this is the one to be in. Isn't that right, Philip?
Yes, radio is a very, very interesting medium. I mean, I've listened over the years, and because there are some people that I was listening to start with who are still around.
Yeah, almost everything. The only thing that prevents them from broadcasting into great a long age is death.
Yeah, it's really the different voices. There is one. He was a disc jockey, and I believe he was also involved in music production, who I wonder if he's still around. Have you ever heard of a disc jockey called Tony Hall?
No.
Well, Tony Hall used to be, he was a presenter on Radio Luxembourg.
Radio Luxembourg.
Yeah, he used to do the Decca programme, so they were pre-recorded. And then he went on to co-present with Jimmy Henney, Oh Boy.
Right, this is all a mystery to me.
Yeah, I just wonder whether he was still around.
I've got no idea, mate.
That's not the reason I rang, Nick.
I actually heard myself, because I was going through my parents' cassette collection and came across something that had my writing on it, but didn't explain what it was. And I put it in, and horror of horrors, it was me on Radio Luxembourg about, oh, God, I don't know.
What years were you on, Nick, in Luxembourg?
I have no memory of ancient history like that. I really have got no idea.
The 60s?
60s?
Oh, so early 70s, or what?
No, it'd be about 90, 89, something like that.
Oh, right, yes.
You know, quite late on in the history of the station.
And I believe you said previously that Barry Aldis was still there.
Huh?
Barry Aldis was still there.
I don't know. It's like I said, I'm not that hot on history. Barry Aldis. It's a name I recognise. But, how embarrassing was that? To come across something that you did like 20 years ago. Yeah. It was awful. Yeah, hey, I was all like that. And I was a cross between Kenny Everett and Alan Freeman. Hey!
Yeah, it's interesting to hear, you know, how what music was being played and such like.
And some nice people have maintained my embarrassment by sticking all of that stuff up on the net.
Oh, wow.
It's like you're It's like all of your diaries that you wrote at school are being sold in W.H. Smith, and there's nothing you can do about it.
No, it's in the open market.
Isn't it?
The reason I rang, Nick, silly string.
Silly string?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Did you know what... Well, as you know, I was in Canada last week.
Oh, yeah, you called with that insane...
yeah, I know, I thought you were Ian. It's just that... Anyway, I was watching a programme called Good Morning America, and they had a feature on silly string. And it turns out the American Army are using silly string in Iraq and Afghanistan. But they're using it for a good purpose.
Oh, I read about this. Isn't it something to do with bombs?
That's right, booby traps.
Right.
What they showed it, they gave an example. You go into a building, and what they do, they spray the string in front of them, and they can see all the tripwires, and, you know, so they know where the bombs or whatever it is might be.
How about that?
So I just wondered.
Do you ever get a can of silly string and spray it up your nose?
No, I haven't done that. What's it like?
I've got no idea. I don't recommend anybody does that. No.
And I just wondered, you know, whether our soldiers are, you know, are doing it as well.
Our soldiers? No, our soldiers couldn't afford silly string.
Well, in America, they're getting the mothers and the parents, and one woman was going round the toy shops, and the toy shops found out what it was for, and was giving them boxes and boxes of silly string.
All right, well, good for them.
So it is. It's an interesting development. But,
well, American soldiers are equipped much better than ours. They get silly string. We just get, I don't know, nothing. We get to step on bombs.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with us. The government will say, soldiers? We're not familiar with soldiers. Iraq? Never heard of it.
Yeah. I got a chance to listen to Canadian radio while I was out there. Yeah. Very much like ours, really.
Is it?
Yeah. There was an oldie station, a news station, and I must admit the oldie station was highly listenable, presenting, you know, it was better presented than ours. It seemed to have more input by the presenter than we get, you know, record after a record.
Well, the thing with, I don't know anything about Canada other than what people tell me. It's like America without any of the colour.
No.
Violence.
You want to go there, Nick?
I don't actually.
Why? I mean,
so many more places I'd rather go than Canada.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, somewhere, right now? Somewhere...
No. Where do you want to go? If you could go to any country for Christmas?
I want to go to Thailand.
Thailand?
Everyone tells me how great Thailand is.
I've been through it, but I've never stayed there. I've been there for an hour.
Right.
But I've never stayed there. Where else do you want to go?
Oh, I don't want to get into a list, Philip.
Oh.
But American radio has always been much more, to me, much more exciting than British radio, just because they were doing it longer, and it was commercial from the start, whereas our radio over here was BBC from the start, and people were wearing bow ties, whereas in America it was like rock and roll.
You've heard the cruising series, I presume, have you?
Yes.
It's amazing, really, that, because not only do you get the presenter, you get the news, the weather, etc., and it sort of gives you an insight, not only into the particular year, but also the city and what was going on in America at that time.
It's for nerds only, Philip.
Oh, no, it's not. God dear.
It is. It's a series of records that I don't know if they're still available, but they...
well, yes, I think you can get them on...
They take a year and they give they sample a DJ from some station.
Some of them are brilliant.
For the stacks of wax we had in the back since 1965.
From Boston.
Coming at you.
Yeah, coming at you on 65.
Whereas in this country at the same time we were going, and that was a gramophone record.
Yeah.
And we haven't caught up yet.
I wonder who the oldest living working disc jockey in England is.
The oldest living working living girl. Who's the oldest DJ in Britain?
Yeah, working.
Right.
Well, I would say possibly. What about Brian Matthews?
It's not dead yet. Brian Matthews.
David Jacobs.
Brian Matthews is not dead yet.
Well, I don't know if he's on at the moment, but he has. I mean, there's David Jacobs.
Right.
Then there's the pirate man down in Kent, Mr. Cash.
Yeah. Dave Cash.
Dave Cash. He's worked down in Kent.
How old is Terry Wogan?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he's that old, is
80, 90 years old, something like that.
I mean, does he get a heating allowance?
Well, leave that with us, Philip. We'll find out. All right.
Okay, Nick. All
Cheers,
the best.
mate. Ta-ta. What a great job that bloke's got. £180 million a year, and all he does is show up like 2 seconds before he goes on the air. Some people push some paper in his hand. He just reads out letters written for him by his listeners, and that's it. He does a full 2-hour show. He must be exhausted.
Nick Ferrari. May I help you?
Oh, Louise.
Hi, Nick.
Louise.
Hi, how are you, Dan?
I am all right, dear.
Good. You were saying earlier on about stroking a cat and how it's really nice.
Stroking a cat?
Yeah.
It is. It's really calming. I calmed down instantly.
Yeah.
And it's remained, I've remained calm ever since.
Oh.
I'm not taking my pills anymore.
Well,
That's true.
they did some research into this, because apparently it's supposed to be the same thing if you've got a dog and you're stroking a dog. But when you stroke an animal, your brain releases all these feel-good chemicals, and that's why you feel so good when you stroke them.
Well, I know it releases the chemicals in the cat, because the cat just goes loopy, like it's stoned out of its mind. It's sort of like it's got its eyes half closed, and it starts like releasing sort of noises that you didn't think could come from a cat. And it looks at you like it's like, wow, this is so great. And as soon as you stop, it starts to go, like complaining, like it's in withdrawal. But that's what, if you massage a cat's head, I'm sure that it's thinking, groovy.
Yeah, that's why they tell old people to get pets. Because it's supposed to make them live longer or something.
Yeah.
These chemicals.
Right. Well, that's probably the last thing that the government wants, what with all the heating allowance they have to pay out and all.
Yes. And you were saying as well about everyone wanting to be famous.
Everyone, that seems to be what young folk want today, is they don't want to grow up to be doctors, they don't want to, help the sick, or, or paint buildings, or whatever it is that we used to do when it were grand when I were a lad. We used to aspire to be something when I were a lad, it were grand. But these days, all they want to be is famous, just want to be famous. Like these morons who show up in number to go on the X Factor thing. They queue up and fill football stadiums with these idiots. Whose entire career path is to be famous. And there's a tiny fraction of them is actually going to achieve that aim by one of various means. Either by murdering someone, or going out with a footballer. I mean, almost none of them will actually become famous by, inventing a cure for a disease, or being a great talent in show business. They'll all become famous by the light will be reflected off someone else onto them.
Yeah.
And almost none of them will actually become famous. So then what? I mean, then your life is just one giant disappointment until you die.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know. At Christmas, I'm coming out with this stuff.
I know. My friend, she wants to be a singer, and she went for the X Factor thing, and she didn't get on there, so she says, right, I'm going to go for Big Brother next year. She says, because then people get to know me. I was like, oh, no. But I'd hate to be famous. Could you imagine people taking photos of you all the time?
No, I've thought about this a lot. That's the last thing I want to be, is famous.
Yeah, me too.
Because, if people look at you in the street or on the tube ordinarily, it makes me feel uncomfortable. But if everyone is looking at you all the time and you can't go anywhere without people staring, slack-jawed in amazement at you, it's a nightmare. I mean, if you're sitting in a restaurant, you're just minding your own affairs. If everyone else is watching you eat, imagine how awful that would be.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that. It's horrible.
It is. There's nothing about it that apart from the money, of course, that I would actually like. The best part of would be the only way in which it would be good to be famous is if you had so much money. If you were like the Beckhams, if you had like a gigantic pile that you could insulate yourself from the general public.
Yeah.
But if you have to get on the tube, like Ken Livingstone is supposed to do, and the Tory leader, whose name is David Cameron, almost forgot. How quickly we forget. Yeah. He's supposed to ride around on the tube now. With like a posse of minders. He doesn't get his avocado card out and... What's it called?
Oyster.
Why have I got a mental block with that thing?
I don't know. You've got one as well, haven't you?
I keep thinking it's an Ocado card, but that's something else, isn't it?
Oh dear, that's your shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, the Oyster card. Because you can't travel on the tube.
Yeah.
I mean, you can remember all of the famous people that you've ever seen in your life, in real life, can't you?
Yeah.
You pass thousands of people a day.
Yeah.
And you don't remember any of them. But this one, the one people that you've seen off the telly, they always stick in your mind. And whatever they were doing sums up their person. Like, if they were having a bad mood, you'll be telling, oh, they're so grumpy. But he might have been just standing on a nail at the time. Or his mum might have just died, you know.
Yeah.
Could have been anything. But forevermore, oh, God, he's such an awful person. He's frowning, he was. So I just couldn't stand it. I couldn't. I used to work at a radio station where the breakfast show host was the most famous person in the country at the time. And he had to get in a disguise to walk out the front door.
Oh, no.
Awful.
If I was famous, I'd want to be famous for something no one could actually recognise me for. Like, I don't know, being on the radio or something.
Yeah. I think it's the only part of show business that I would actually want. Being on the radio. How's that going, by the way?
Oh, I'm getting there in my own time.
Yeah, okay. Well, best of luck, Louise. Okay. It's an awful business, don't do it. All right, but I've said that before and you're not paying the slightest bit of attention. Never mind. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Ta-da. Here's Burton-on-Trent. Hello, Adrian.
Hello, Nick. How you doing?
It's Aid who can get laid.
Yeah. I want to unburden me soul onto you first to start off.
You want to unburden yourself?
Well, I did something I couldn't believe what I actually did. I had the radio on this week, and there was a record on. I thought, oh, this is quite a nice record. And it finished, and it said that was Take That.
Well, you know what? It is quite a good record. Did they write it themselves? I think they probably did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because that's where all the money is. No, it is. It is quite good. Yeah, I quite like that song.
But,
how does it go?
I don't know. I can't remember it, but I think remember it at the time. Thinking, it's not something I'd go out and buy this. But
no, quite. But it's not something that makes you want to throw the radio out the window. Is it? It's not something, if it came on the car radio, you'd want to drive into a tree just to stop it.
Yeah. That'd be a bit extreme. There's always the off switch, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. But, in case of emergencies, if, like, Westlife came on the radio, for instance...
Oh, yeah.
If I'm fumbling around, keeping my eyes on the road and my hands on the wheel, if you couldn't actually turn the radio off in time, then there is always driving into a tree, yeah.
Yeah, that is the best option. Yeah, anyway, talking about radio, somebody has a radio on today, and, I get quite around the factory myself, but I was stuck in this particular place. And I was doing competitions, and the prizes was awful. And one competition was you got to giving these clues out to find a phone box, and you got to find this phone box and answer it when they're rung. And the prize was £50 garden centre vouchers. I mean, not even voucher where you could go and get a DVD.
What are you going to buy in a garden centre in the middle of winter?
No, I don't know. Unless they do Christmas trees, but that'd be a damn good Christmas tree for £50, wouldn't it? And what was the other one? They just made it really odd for these really crappy prizes. Dropped 5 coins on a table, and you had to guess what the amount that they dropped came up to.
Well, I'm holding something in my right hand. Guess what it is?
Bottled water.
No.
I'm a loser.
Yes, you are. You are a loser, baby, so why don't we kill you?
Yeah, and the prize was that it says that, for the kid, this one's for the kiddies, a Pirates of the Caribbean sticker album.
Well, the movie was for the kiddies, really. Did anybody see that movie, Pirates of the Caribbean? Oh, that sucked out loud. Awful. That guy doing his Keith Richards impression.
I can't think apart from, like I've told you, I've seen the Bond, I can't think of any movies that are coming up that I really want to see.
Well, I can't think of any movies this year that I actually wanted to pay money for. I saw Borat and I saw Bond, but apart from that, I don't think there was any.
There's other Bonds already in the pipeline, isn't it, apparently, for 2008?
Yes, they're going to do a sequel. Hurrah!
Yeah.
How about you, Luce? What movies did you pay for this year?
I went to see Bond this week.
Aha!
I loved it as well.
Did you?
I really loved it.
It's great.
Very good.
Yeah. And is he the best Bond ever?
I actually think he is pretty fantastic, actually. Yeah.
Lucy's beside herself.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cheesy, and I liked that.
Yes, and it's like I said last week, they started showing other Bonds on TV in order to cash in.
Yeah.
And they were embarrassing. Like about 5 minutes in, I thought, this is just silly. I can't watch this. It's rubbish. We're being, my intelligence is being abused, I thought.
And, can you hardly wait for next year? Do you know what film's coming out next year, don't you? A new Rocky film.
And yeah, that's right. And his face was in the paper today, pictured next to his mother, and it looks like he looks like his mother. You know, that woman of advanced
Jackie
surgery. Yeah.
One of the Big Brothers or something like that.
That's right. She was in Celebrity Big Brother. She was fantastic. She was laugh out loud funny.
But how old is that guy? And don't boxers retire when they're about 40?
Yeah.
It's not a very realistic idea, is it? I mean, what is it, like Rocky?
It's the movie. I don't think it's... well, not that I really know what I'm talking about, but I don't think he's the boxer this time. He's going to be the trainer.
Oh,
that
no,
may or may not be true. Huh?
He is. He
is what?
I've seen the trailer.
What?
You can see it on YouTube for Rocky. He's boxing in it.
Lucy, you go on YouTube to see the trailer for Rocky?
Yeah. My husband really loves Rocky. And so we had to watch it. He was so excited that he's seen lots of clips that you can see, download and stuff.
Well, you know what's going to happen, though, don't you?
What?
He'll lose a fight, and then in the end he'll win.
Well, don't spoil it for us, Aid.
Sorry?
Don't spoil it for us, Aid. Keep it to yourself, all right.
It's just the same as there were 5.
Have they really made that many?
Yeah.
I'm happy to say that I've never seen any of them, and I don't think that's going to change, whether it be on YouTube or MyTube or any kind of YouTube. But thanks a lot, Aid. Got to go. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Can I next you're on Christmas Eve, aren't you?
What?
You're on Christmas Eve. Maybe I could sing some carols for you.
Oh, that'll be excellent. Yeah, I've got just the very thing for you. Hold your breath. All right. Cheers, Aid. Ta-da.
Right.
This is LBC.
I took...
Clapton. Hi, Peter.
Oh, good morning, Nicholas.
Peter.
Hello, yes. A little bit about the start of radio in this country. It wasn't actually the BBC who started. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. January 1920, Guglielmo Marconi started the Writtle radio station.
Who did?
Chelmsford. Marconi, the famous Marconi.
Gaglione, yeah.
Yes.
I used to live in Writtle, right next to the factory.
Yeah. 15th of June...
He's not remotely interested. Go on.
15th of June 1920, Dame Nellie Melba was the first professional artist.
Oh, yeah, Nellie. Yeah, I remember her, yeah.
The radio station suspended in November and reinstituted on 14th of February 1922. And in 1922... 2LO in London started.
Stuart, Peter, even you sound bored.
No, very interesting. 2LO started 11th of May in the Strand, and then Manchester 16th of May. And they were taken over by the BBC in November 1922, but Marconi was in competition with the BBC until it's closed in January 1923. But what was the first...
Boring!
What was the first commercial radio station?
LBC. I mean, Radio Luxembourg.
No, the official one was your LBC, 18th of October 1973.
Oh, well, no, Radio Luxembourg predated us.
If that's
yes.
counted, but a British one anyway, that's from abroad, so if you count one from Britain. So they're the facts for you.
OK, thanks a lot, Peter.
Thank you.
Everyone here is going, ha-ha. Hey, what, have you got any old mobile phones loose?
Yes, I have.
So do I. And you know what, you go back to them and you think, this is not such a bad phone. Because in your mind, you think, oh, it's bound to be rubbish, it's bound to be the size of a brick, and it'll be awful. The only thing that they don't do is all this rubbish that phones do now that you don't use. Like video. Who uses their phone to video? For 10 seconds or whatever it is. I mean, what's the point of that? The only point of it is to give it to news organisations if you're marched off the back of a tube train, if it's stuck in the tunnel. And then they'll have like shaky footage of people walking along like a dark tube. For what other purpose are you going to use your video phone? Unless you're in a group of footballers and you're dogging.
Oh, you could take a picture of your cat.
Or whatever it is they do. Your cat, yes, I suppose so, yeah. take a picture of your car when you park it in Westminster to get them back when they lift it up and put it in a residence parking zone, and then fine you £200. Anyway, if you have an old mobile and you want to act like Santa, then you can use your old mobile, and everyone donated to the National Missing Persons Helpline will receive £5. For full details of how you can donate your old phone, then you should just go to our website, lbc.co.uk, which here is written lbc.co.uk, just in case I'm stupid enough not to know what that means.
On FM, Nick Abbott.
I enjoy working with people.
So the cash for peerages thing just goes on and on and on, and it's getting more and more embarrassing, and people are holding their head in their hands in this country. And Gordon Brown has sensationally accused Tony Blair's top aides of mounting a smear campaign to drag him into the Loans for Gongs probe. Earlier this week it was claimed that he helped mega-rich Labour donor Sir Ronald Cohen get a knighthood instead of a CBE. The statement also insisted he knew nothing about the loans to Labour engineered by Lord Levy. Sir Ronald has given Labour £1.3 million, but in donations, not loans. In 2000, the year he was knighted, he was appointed by Mr Brown to head the Social Investment Task Force. Police said that they planned to question Lord Levy for a third time, and the BBC claims it's seen a diary note written by Labour donor and biotech millionaire Sir Chris Evans, claiming Lord Levy asked him if he would like a K or a big P, as in a knighthood or a peerage. So Gordon Brown is saying that he doesn't know how the Labour Party is funded, almost as though it's got nothing to do with him. He's the Chancellor of the Exchequer, right? He's the man with all the money. All the money things go through him. Am I right? I mean, he's got the money for the country. And yet, none of them know how their own party is funded. I mean, if that's the truth, and we can only accept that it's true, because that's what he says, then don't you find that a bit worrying? That he's in charge for the money of the country, and he's got no idea how his own party is funded. What, like the postman just brings in millions of pounds in with the mail in the morning? Oh, I've got all this cash pouring through the door. Got no idea where it's coming from, but isn't it great? It's just scary, isn't it? It's basically really silly, because this is how a government has worked for hundreds of years. All those people sitting on ermine, do they sit on it? Probably don't. Probably scoot it up so it doesn't get creased, right? How do you think they got there? Because they're great citizens? Because they're, really worth the... No, because they got born right. Or they just did favours for the right people. That's how this country works. We like to think that Great Britain is, this very upstanding, stiff upper lip, tea at 3, bowler hats to work, nothing wrong here country. We're about the most corrupt country in the whole wide world. We like to think that, all the hot countries, that's where all the giant corruption comes from. But they're just more obvious about it. We just do it, sneakily. And just seemingly we've been getting away with it for centuries. That's us, jolly old Britain.
You're always cheering us up.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do a lot better than this on Christmas Day, right?
Yeah, you're not allowed to do any doom and gloom on Christmas Day.
No Scrooge at all.
Only good stories. Happy stories.
Speaking of Scrooge, cheated Ingrid Tarrant has branded her estranged husband, Chris, a Scrooge, whose idea of festive fun was downing a bottle of whiskey.
Oh.
She claims he preferred getting drunk in front of the telly to enjoying the Christmas break with her and their children. She's been going off on one ever since, hasn't she? I mean, talk about a woman wronged.
I thought it was all hunky-dory before this happened.
No, you're kidding. What papers are you reading? I thought that he wanted to get back, but she said no.
But I mean, before all this came out, they were just the happiest couple in showbiz, weren't they?
Oh, I see. Before she found out that he'd bought £1 million house in order to bed a woman who looked exactly like her.
Yes, scarily.
But I guess that's, you see that often, don't you? But I guess we shouldn't be surprised, because it's just his taste, right?
But you have to say, if that was happening before this, well, he was off having an affair or whatever, if she was very upset with him drowning a bottle of whiskey, wouldn't you say that to your husband?
Yeah.
You're not to drink a bottle of whiskey on Christmas Day.
What's that noise?
I don't know. I think it was Alex's headphones.
Is it?
Or is it your phone?
No, I don't think so.
Is he looking guilty?
Sorry.
A little bit.
Little bit,
Probably.
yeah.
What's your phone ring now?
It's still Philip.
Right.
I changed it for a bit, but
saying
I'll
hoodies.
put it back to Philip just for you.
Anyway, where were we?
Sorry. So I was just saying, if you're married to someone and you're not happy with something that they're doing,
Yeah.
or a partner or whatever, then surely you would speak up and say, and not just allow them to behave like that and then moan about it afterwards.
Well, I don't know. You probably get to the point where you're not really communicating anymore,
Yeah,
and you've kind of like given up.
But yeah, but then you've both given up, haven't you? You can't then bitch and moan about it afterwards, can you?
Yeah, well, she is bitching and moaning. She also revealed multimillionaire Chris grumbled about wasting cash on Christmas paper and ribbons and wrapped gifts in plastic bags sealed with sticky tape.
I think that's great.
Isn't that awful?
That's
Ingrid,
funny.
52. I think the most surprising thing about this for me was that Chris Tarrant was getting off with a woman who was also 50. I mean, what happened to 20-year-olds?
Maybe he wanted a more,
Mature
woman.
lady, yeah. Ingrid, 52, who has been married to the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire host for 22 years, says Chris has no sense of occasion. She sounds like she really hates this guy. I mean, how can you be married to someone for 22 years and just, like, hate them so much?
Well, I think if someone really wrongs you, then you can develop a deep loathing, can't
I suppose
you?
so, yeah. He doesn't really enter into the spirit at Christmas time, she said. His idea of fun was downing a bottle of whiskey. Fun? I mean, if it was tequila, maybe, but whiskey, there's nothing
If they're all having a shot, no problem.
well, there's nothing fun about whiskey. It's like quite a nasty thing, isn't it? Doesn't it make people violent?
Does it?
Doesn't it?
Isn't that wife beater?
Whiskey?
Lager. I thought there was a lager that does that.
Ingrid split with Chris after finding out he'd been having an affair. Their children, Samantha, 18, and Toby, 15, and Ingrid's daughter, Fia, 21, and son, Dexter, 26, and blah, 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 the whole family, good grief, will spend Christmas with her, not Chris, 60. She added, with Chris missing, the dynamic of the family has changed, and he always gave clever, imaginative, and thoughtful presents. Oh, there's a little bit of positive right at the end there. I hadn't noticed that bit. Huh. But he wraps them in a plastic bag with a bit of sticky tape, because he doesn't want to waste money on Christmas wrapping. The trillionaire, Chris Tarrant. Isn't that awful? I always feel sorry for the people that he's hugging at the end of that show, because he'll always grab the person off the chair and he'll be matily have his arm around their shoulder as he's reading the auto cue at the end here. And you can text if you want to be on this number and that number, and we'll see you next week, and blah, blah. And he's like chummying up to the person he's just been quizzing. And the look on their face is one of abject horror. Every single time it's the same look. It's like, get away from me! Fear in their eyes. How about Bracknell? Hello, Jethro.
Oh, hello. Oh, I was just listening to your conversation. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, right.
I would make an effort now, wouldn't I?
I suppose so.
Yeah. I was just thinking, if Chris Tarrant has... And I don't really like commenting on other people's personal lives because I think they need to sort it out themselves, but...
Oh, come off it.
Oh, okay, it's fair game then.
It's a national sport, commenting on other people's love lives.
Okay. If he's gone off with a woman who looks very, very much like his wife...
Yeah.
Why wasn't he highly intelligent, and why didn't he just get a bit of her DNA, take it to an advanced Cambridge biological laboratory, and clone it in vitro sort of solution, grow another one of her, and then... having a relationship with her, and he actually wouldn't. You could suggest he wouldn't actually committing adultery because it's just an exact copy of your wife.
In an in vitro solution.
Well, well, I mean, in the sense, I don't know what it is a technical term, but if you need to get a DNA sample of your wife.
That whole thing was just so that he could say in vitro. He'd got the Nirvana album. He'd got no idea what it means. We just wanted to throw it in anyway.
Well, there'll be some technical people out there that actually know what you do with a bit of with DNA or DNA cell and how you actually grow it from a small sort of microscopic organism up into a full adult human being.
Yeah.
But if it, I mean, he sounds a bit like Rod Stewart, doesn't he? Because Rod Stewart always wants to get sort of 6 foot tall blonde bimbos. He marries them serially, doesn't he?
Yeah, and seriously, yeah.
And seriously as well, yeah. I'm sure it's seriously, but they're just...
It's just that, his taste is apparently 50-year-old, mousy ladies.
Who look like his wife.
Well, yeah, because that's his taste. I mean, obviously they would look like his wife, because that's who I don't know.
That's the kind of woman he likes to go for.
Yeah. That's the kind of woman he likes to cheat on. Yeah, that's right.
So it's not so much, it's sort of like another one's just slightly different, and therefore
it's just someone new, that's all. It's just new, it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's forbidden.
Yeah, that's true. There's an excitement about forbidden fruit, isn't there?
But, men are going to stray. They're going to stray. Men are going to stray. It's in our genes. It's in our genes, and it has to come out. Boing, boing, boing.
Wasn't Cliff Richard's genes, though, was it?
I haven't got that sound effect. I didn't think I'd use it, so I just I did it by hand, by mouth.
Can I try that one again?
No.
I said it doesn't seem to be in Cliff Richard's genes. He doesn't seem to have hit this problem about marrying and then having to be playing away from home. With
I know. God bless Cliff.
Yes, he's been very loyal to himself, hasn't he? Anyway, moving on. Gordon Brown's wealth. Where's it come from? Years ago,
he strangled himself, thereby alleviating the necessity that I do. What?
Well, you said that he's spending all our money or something, but he's not actually. He's spending the bank's money because he's borrowing an awful lot of money to finance the construction of hospitals, which we all need so desperately.
Unbelievable. How can you pour that much money into the NHS and there's still hundreds of millions of pounds in debt? How's that possible?
Well, I haven't quite understood that mystery, but apparently it's going on.
How is it possible to take £1 billion, not million, £1 billion from us in tax every day and still need to borrow more? Amazing. It must be that. It must be his Prudence that's doing it. Yeah.
Isn't his wife's name?
Dear Prudence. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, in Parliament, it's very interesting because I think the Speaker, does he not sit in the woolsack? Is that not right? Someone sits in the woolsack, which I was told in my history lesson was a symbol in the olden times of our the great wealth of our country, which was based on the sheep. Because we had lots and lots of sheep, and we exported sheep's wool all over the world, and it made us rich. But now we don't make anything. Where's all our wealth coming from? And what would a person sit on in the House of Commons to symbolise the current wealth of our country, apart from the B1 form or a UB40 form? I'm not quite sure.
I think it's all service industries, isn't it? All the money in the entire country comes in through the square mile in the city. In fact, it all comes through Goldman Sachs. They're throwing money. There was a great cartoon on the front page of the Telegraph. Goldman Sachs have just announced their profits this year, some staggering amount, like as big as most third world countries. And they're giving it all away to the people lucky enough to be partners and who work for that company. You read about that, right?
Yeah, well, this is the bonuses in the city type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like some partners in Goldman Sachs are apparently getting 50 million quid in bonuses, like on top of their wage, which is just absolutely incredible. These are the people that are buying Chelsea. They're in hand-to-hand combat with the Russians over who's going to buy bits of Mayfair.
I don't normally meet that many people in that kind of class of society.
But there was a cartoon on the front page of the Telegraph which said, and it was a Mac cartoon who always makes me laugh more than any others in a single window, and it was somebody coming into the offices of Goldman Sachs and the guy behind the desk pushing forward a bowl full of a paper and said, "Money."
Well, I think they might actually go to Tesco's and buy a product from Tesco's value range just for fun, I mean, I have to buy it for necessity, but I think they might, they're probably, having eaten loads of caviar and truffles and all that kind of thing, they probably go in and say, hey, let's play it common for a while, won't that be fun,
Well, Harry and William did just exactly that, didn't they? They dressed up as chavs, much to the horror of the tabloid press. They thought, they're talking down at us, that's our job, they said.
Yes, so it's a slightly patronising, a bit disturbing, really. But I don't know how can I conclude this conversation. I can't think of a concluding statement that will sort of give you the chance to move on to your advertising segment.
Well, you could ask me about Prince William's fiancée.
Oh, Well, I hope he doesn't. Listen, all I hope about Prince William is that if he finds a woman and he decides he's in love with her, that he marries her this time instead of joining the Navy and missing out on it and then having a huge problem with marrying someone you don't really want to just because you've got to produce babies. I hope he's learnt from his father's mistake, that's all, really.
Is that asking me about his fiancée?
Well, well, I know, but I was presuming he's in love with his fiancée because he's asked her to marry him.
Is this you asking me about her?
Oh, okay. Is she a Chelsea girl?
I've got no idea. That was too specific.
Is she aristocracy?
I really don't know.
Is she common? Is she foreign?
Ask me who she is.
Who is she?
Kate Middleton marched a giant step closer to a royal future yesterday as she joined the Queen and other senior members to watch Prince William's passing out parade. You read about this, right? Looking every inch the princess in waiting, the beauty made a grand entrance as she attended her first ever official royal engagement. Her carefully planned and very public arrival at Sandhurst.
Oh, fabulous.
It's actually the wrong page. on the next page, in the same spot... Boring! That's the one I was going for. On and on and on they go. OK, so they're going out.
She said he looked very sexy as well. Did you see that bit?
No, I didn't get down that far.
Yeah.
My eyeballs started to wither on their vines. Just can't stand it anymore. So he's got a girlfriend. And?
Well...
Harry got drunk, though. See, he is my favourite royal. Harry was absolutely out of it for 18 hours continuously while Prince William was marching up and down with his shiny sword. Harry had something like 2 bottles of wine, 18 pints of lager, endless scotch, vodka, the lot.
That's like you up and down Oxford Street,
that's
isn't it?
That's the way to go, definitely. OK, we're going to go away, come back.
The promo you Abbott.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Harleston. Hi, Paul.
Hello there, how you doing?
Oh, cool, you're loud. I'm all right, mate.
Good. I was just ringing up, first of all, and that sounds a bit anarchy, but it wasn't in vitro, the...
In utero, yeah.
Utero. Yeah, OK, I wasn't too sure if you got that while I was on the phone. And secondly, if you was covering for Ian Lee last Friday, I won that competition.
If I was what, sorry?
Covering for Ian Lee on Friday, last Friday.
Was it?
There was a competition, it was the shoot, don't use, the Latimer Road game, was that not yourself?
A Latimer Road game?
Yeah, it's like an arcade game, but on the phone. I've totally got the wrong presenter, haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh, OK, I thought it was you. I've just come back from a party, so I thought I'd give you a ring and see what was going on with the prize.
An arcade game?
Yeah, there was a guy on. It might be John Holmes, actually.
Right.
Would it have been him?
I don't know, mate.
OK.
I'll say yes.
Right. Say yes, and you remember me winning, so I just spoke to your producer, and we sorted that out anyway. So, yeah, that's all I thought I'd ring up for.
What did you win?
Well, he sort of totally made up a prize, an ambidextrous, wireless, blah, blah. So I thought maybe I could get myself a little LBC mug or something for the hot chocolate for the kids.
I seriously doubt it. I don't have one. Do we even have such a thing? Is there such a thing as an LBC mug? There is. No, I haven't got one, so you can't get one.
All right, fair enough. OK, then. And I also thought I'd just mention that Harry sounds like a bit of a lightweight as well to me.
A lightweight?
Yeah.
He drank more in one day than I would drink in a month.
No, all right, fair enough. OK, then, I'm sorry about that. It sounds like I've totally got the wrong man. I'll have to...
No worries, Paul.
Next time John Holmes is up, do you know when he's about?
I don't.
OK. All right, then. Well, thanks anyway.
Another satisfied customer. Children should be given old-fashioned elocution lessons because thousands of teenagers are leaving school unable to speak properly.
Giving people permission to?
What was that?
Sorry, Lucy's phone wouldn't shut up, so I thought I'd give you a blast of it.
And what's she got on her,
I don't know, some kind of classical music.
Right.
It sounded like the one that goes... dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
Something like that.
It's Swan Lake, right?
It was more like... Sorry, though.
It's the middle twiddly bit from Swan Lake.
Was it?
She's on the phone so she can't be disturbed.
She's on 2 phones now.
You're 2 phones. Children should be given old-fashioned elocution lessons because thousands of teenagers are leaving school unable to speak properly. They can't read, they can't write, they can't add up. What can they do? The influence of television programmes such as Little Britain featuring the grunting teenager Vicky Pollard, has created a generation of children unable to express themselves, said the study by Professor Tony McHenry, a linguistic specialist from Lancaster University. No, it doesn't, Tony. It's got nothing to do with it. Little Britain doesn't create kids who speak like that. Little Britain is just a reflection of kids who speak like that. How can you make such a basic mistake? I swear, people should come to me before they make fools of themselves in the print. Professor Tony analysed 10 million words of transcribed speech, 10,000 words from teenagers' internet blogs, and interviews with 200 youngsters for the study. He said that children's narrow vocabulary was making many unemployable, and called for schools to teach young people better verbal communication skills. They cannot speak. It's like, what are they learning at school? They're too busy with media studies and equality seminars and empowerment groups and leisure courses. Even through university they're studying this stuff. They can't write, they can't read, and they can't speak now. I mean, people with degrees call this show and you can't understand a word they say. What noise does your phone make, Luz?
Sorry, it's a rubbish little tune. My phone broke this week, so I had to take it to the shop to be mended, and they've given me a horrible old brick. But you'd like it, because it doesn't have anything flash on it, so it just does the texting and calls.
See, I don't even need texting.
Don't you? Don't you text?
Never.
Why?
Why would you?
Because you don't have to talk to someone then.
Well, why? If you don't want to talk to them, why would you text them?
Because it saves the whole speech thing. You know, see you tomorrow at 8, bye.
But it's taken you 10 times longer to text, see you tomorrow at 8, bye, than it having a conversation.
No, quick predictive text, over in a flash. You can do it really fast.
I can't.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Have you tried it on predictive text?
Well, yeah, but it's like typing, but worse.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly like typing,
It's not.
but worse. It is, absolutely, that's what it's like.
No, typing is more difficult. Typing is a skill. Predictive text is not a skill.
Yeah, but there's fewer buttons is worse, that's what I mean.
Well...
And they're tiny. And you have to hit them with your little thumb.
But you've had your eyes done, it should be easy.
Can I take some of these right off?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to them yet.
Sue, hello, you're on the air. Sue.
Hi. Yeah, I agree about the text thing. I mean, I have a mobile phone which I only use in emergencies. Because every time you get on a train, every time you get on anything, people are talking on this bloody thing, aren't they?
Maybe we should have screened these calls for, swearing and so on.
Well, I'm sorry.
Of all the people that have called this show, it fell to you, Sue.
Yeah, to have the first swear word.
I know, I can't believe it. But you feel very strongly about this issue.
I abjectly apologise.
Well, I accept your abject apology.
Oh, thank you.
Calm down, Sue. It's only a phone.
It's only a phone.
All right, thanks a lot. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you should definitely screen these calls, because some of these ladies are filthy. Ingrid, Peckham.
Yes, darling.
Ingrid.
Texting is much cheaper than sending a phone, rather making a phone call.
That's not true, is it?
Oh, it is with my mobile, yes.
Right.
Costs about 10p per text. Unless, of course, you want to spend, so to speak, more than one page. Sometimes I send long texts, about 5 pages, which would cost about 50p.
That's crazy.
Why is it?
Get yourself an email.
I can't work computers. Computers don't like me.
Yes. Well, I feel your pain.
Well, I'm in my 70s now, and poor me.
Well, at least you get the heating allowance, eh?
Yes, but my central heating's up the creek.
Oh, still not satisfied. Well, I'll send someone around, all right.
When you come round and see me?
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll do that straight away. Hold your breath, Ingrid.
Lovely to see you.
Thanks a lot, dear.
Love to hear from you.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye, darling.
What a nice lady.
Historic.
No time for the old in and out, love. I've just come to read the meter.
Sometimes, I'll say things on this show and then they'll appear in the news as government policy about a week later. Athletes who use cocaine or cannabis should not be banned, Sports Minister Richard Cabourn said this week. Did you read about that? He said recreational narcotics should not be on the anti-doping list and only performance-enhancing drugs should be weeded out. Mr. Caborn argued, we're not in the business of policing society, we're in the business of rooting out sport cheats. He said it was a police job to deal with sportsmen caught taking those kind of drugs. Correct! In fact, I read this thing last week about this darts player who was banned from the sport for smoking dope, I think.
Yeah.
Which is just absolutely ludicrous. How could that possibly improve your aim? It's silly.
Along with all the lager that's consumed at the same time.
Exactly, yeah. And, every now and again, a footballer will get caught out with the Peruvian marching powder, and it's in no help at all to actually playing a skillful sport.
But you can't be seen to be saying that's okay, though.
Well, we're not saying that's okay, but it's just got nothing to do with them being banned from the sport. I mean, they should be, fingered by the law. The full majesty of the law should be, vented upon them, unless, of course, they're famous, in which case they'll get off scot-free. Kate? Yeah, Kate.
Pete?
Kate, no, is he dead yet?
No.
Oh.
Hanging on.
Why is he bothering? But yes, that's absolutely correct, and I've thought that for the longest time. I mean, smoking marijuana shouldn't get you banned from an Olympic sport. That's just silly. The only event that marijuana would help you in is listening to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's not a performance-enhancing drug at all. So they shouldn't, and all those snowboarders. One by one, they were getting knocked off by the International Olympic Committee. All those snowboarders, those guys with, those dudes with their long hair and their threads and all that. Oh, they smoke marijuana. You don't say. And they were falling down like ninepins. They were. It's daft.
Snowboarding's daft.
Well, no, I can completely understand snowboarding. I bet.
Can you do it?
No. Well, I used to ski, and that's the most exciting sport that I've ever tried. So I'd imagine snowboarding is up there as well, because it's you're at speed, but so to speak, but you're under your own power. That's the exciting part of it.
Yes.
It's like being in a fast car times 10.
But it's quite hard to go from skiing to snowboarding, isn't it? It's supposed to be much easier if you just learn to snowboard first.
Yeah, I can imagine that's true, yeah.
Because you don't then... Because it's quite hard to not tipple over. Which it is on skis as well for me. But
well, that won't be a problem anymore, because there won't be any snow left.
Oh, yes, that's true. It's going to be a really hot summer, apparently, next year.
Hooray!
Even hotter.
I know, because of El Niño, right? Not that I really know what that is. It's like it's a warm wind. Of some kind. Is it the wind, or is it ocean currents?
Oh.
Or is one caused by the other? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But anyway, it comes around every so often, and it's going to mean that next year is even warmer than this year. And this year is the warmest year since we were on fire.
Yeah. And we're definitely not going to be snowing on Christmas Day, so you needn't get your old de-icer at the ready.
Well, there was these people who have been putting on bets that snowflakes will fall on Buckingham Palace. Did you see that? Yeah, a flurry, so to speak, of bets coming on that the snow will fall on Buckingham Palace on Christmas Day. People betting thousands and thousands of pounds. And then they found that on eBay they were auctioning off actual snow, like a couple of tons of actual snow for Christmas that could be bought, by anyone. I don't know, they were shipping it in from where there's snow. So you'd put it in a helicopter and then dump it on Buckingham Palace and win trillions of pounds.
You are joking.
I joke not.
Well, how would you keep it cold?
In a fridge.
What, in the air? I suppose.
Yeah, frigid air.
I was imagining it arriving in the post from eBay. Make sure you put this in the freezer to re-snow it.
Yes. No, but that would have been
That's ridiculous.
An amusing wheeze.
Who cares about snow on Christmas Day?
I know. Well, it's all about that song, isn't it?
Which one?
The one about snow on Christmas Day. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah. Of course.
Which one?
I had another one in my head.
Are you going to be doing it on... are you going to be here on Christmas Eve?
The eve of the eve, I am.
Eve.
In other words, next week I'm here.
Next Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's Christmas next weekend. Ah!
It is, and I haven't done hardly any shopping. And you probably still haven't done any because you're not doing any.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
No one's getting anything.
What about the cat?
Particularly the cat.
Should I buy my mother's dog a present? She thinks I should. She said, have you bought the dog a present yet? No, of course I haven't bought the dog a present. I haven't bought my family members a present yet, let alone the dog.
Is your mother crazy?
Well...
Buy the dog a present?
Yeah. She thinks it's important that the dog has something to unwrap as well. Yeah.
Well, you raised your eyes to the roof. I bet you wouldn't do that in front of your mum.
Of course not. I say, oh no, I haven't bought it yet. I must go and get it straight away.
That's just patently silly.
Yeah, I think so. But I think a lot of people probably buy their pets a present.
Yeah, because they're silly people.
Well... But,
they're not actually buying their pets a present, they're buying themselves a present.
Well, it's quite fun to watch a dog unwrap a present.
Is it?
Well, yeah. It sort of is.
Would the dog actually unwrap it unless there was something nice and smelly inside?
Yes. Yeah, she does anyway.
All right.
We rewrap things often just to see her open. We have a lot of fun on Christmas Day.
Well, it's all round to Lucy's place then. I didn't have any plans. Actually, Christmas Day is the only day that I'm not going to be working for about, over 3 weeks.
Really?
Every single day, apart from Christmas Day, for about 3 weeks solid.
Oh,
yeah.
You'll be exhausted.
Don't worry about me.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Jade Goody.
Oh, yeah.
Now that Leona has just won the X Factor, we won't be hearing from her again, because all of the money that is available to people like her has been sucked up by Jade Goody. Can you believe how well she's done? Do you know how much she's worth?
Are you going to tell me how wealthy she is now?
£5 million.
Oh, that's awful. Isn't that depressing? Oh, dear.
Jade Goody's in line for a Hollywood acting career after...
Hollywood?
Yes. After she was approached by a top talent agency. This is not her desperately going to America to see if she can make her fortune.
What's the talent?
They've come to her. The Big Brother Big Mouth is in talks with the powerful William Morris agency. Even I've heard of them. You know, that's the kind of agency that would have Tom Cruise on their books.
Imagine when you look down the list. Yes. Tom Cruise, Jade Goody.
She now plans to head to New York to study method acting next year. Oh, come on. Before going to LA for a series of meetings and auditions. The agency, which represents superstars including Scarlett Johansson, Russell Crowe, Emma Thompson and Kirsten Dunst, was put in touch with Bermondsey-born Jane by American Heather Howard, who appears as a judge on her living TV show Jade's PA. Have you seen that?
Well, I think she came in here to do a little bit on it.
Did she?
Yeah, I think she came in for Nick Ferrari.
And how was she?
I didn't see it or hear it or see her. So I can't really give you much of an update on it.
I'm sure he's glad of the support. Ex-dental nurse Jade's bid, and that's really scary, isn't it? She used to be a dental nurse, like you'd be sitting there with machinery in your mouth, and then she'd be looming over you. She'd be doing the sucking, wouldn't she? That always scares me when they come in with that sucker. I always think they're going to suck my cheek out. Sorry. That's just really... I mean, of all the jobs in all the world where you're sitting there helpless with your mouth open... The last person in the world you'd want looming over you is her, right? I mean, where do you look when the dentist's peering over at you? Do you look at them? Oh, well, no, you can't, because they're upside down. It really freaks you out. Yeah. Some people's eyes upside down. There's something really weird about it, and it just really freaks me out. I can't really? Look at people's eyes upside down. It's really weird. No, you look at the ceiling. You have to look at the ceiling. Dentists normally paint the ceiling, don't they? They put some sort of thing on the ceiling. Stick a poster up there. Oh, that little light is there. They have DVDs and things up now as well. Well, I had a gold crown put on, and they gave me some like amusing drugs. I don't know what it was, but they gave me. But they had goggles that actually show TV inside the goggles. Wow! And they put they had a brief selection of TV thing. I said, all right, I'll have Absolutely Fabulous. It was about the only thing that would. Did you have to try not to laugh? Well, I was laughing. He had to stop several times because I was laughing so much while he was grinding my tooth down. Oh, how horrible! And when they use the high pitched whine thing, that's really bad. But it's the sound that's bad on that because you can't really feel it, right?
Yeah, the one that just gets the tartar out.
Yeah, but the worst one is, it looks like something that they would dig the Channel Tunnel with, this great, rough-looking thing, and then they grind, and that's the vibration that gets you, because you know that it's ploughing into your molars. That's the part that I like the least.
Oh, dear. Is that when you're having root canal surgery? I've never had that. Oh, dear.
Anyway, back to Jade. She said... yes, she's got this thing on Living TV, Jade's PA. Ex-dental nurse Jade's bid to take Hollywood on may also be, and this is the crucial part, may also be filmed for a fly-on-the-wall show. So they've taken this story, hook, line and sinker, of the Sun. Oh, yes, she's going to go and be like a superstar in LA, but that's not what it's about at all. They're just going to follow her around in her attempts to be an actress in Los Angeles for another fly-on-the-wall, like we need another fly-on-the-wall show. She said at the Cannes Film Festival that she will play... She's going to be... What? The Londoner famous for flashing her kebab belly. I didn't think that's what she meant when she said that.
She didn't. I don't think she did either.
Was encouraged by the movie success of Sean Maguire, whoever that is, and hardman Vinnie Jones. Of all the men in all the world to be successful in the movie business, Vinnie Jones. I mean, can anybody imagine that? Can anybody understand that?
No.
Is anybody supporting that man in his great... success and riches and pleasure in life doesn't come to the good people. It actually just comes to all the bad people, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The meek will not inherit the earth. They'll be trampled to death while they're trying to get there. She said at the Cannes Film Festival that she will play a girl who is given an ASBO. Well, that'll be a stretch. Jada lives in Ongar in Essex... Perfect for her, has risen from nobody to superstar status since appearing in Big Brother 4 years ago. Was it really that long? After leaving the TV house as the fourth runner-up, she's now thought to be worth £5 million, having earned £1 million from TV and magazine appearances. She's actually the only one in the great long list who's done anything at all. But like I said before, all of those people will forever be that bloke or woman that was on Big Brother, no matter what they do from now on.
But she wouldn't care, would she?
Who, Jade?
Yeah.
Well, no, she's got money to wall in her garden to keep the people out. Yeah. She doesn't have to travel public transport anymore.
God.
That's the key.
How does that happen? It's so unfair. It really is.
This is LBC.
Nick's Beck Abbott.
Lick Mail is returning with Alan Bastard on stage. There's going to be a new stage version of The New Statesman as Bastard strolls the corridors of power, impeccably pinstriped, nose aloft. Lawrence Marks and Morris, probably. Morris Gran, the two geniuses that wrote The New Statesman, they're writing this too. It's at the Trafalgar Studios. Is that the place that used to do, is that the Whitehall Farce place, or is that somewhere else? Remember there's just south of Trafalgar Square, there's the place that they always used to put the farces on, during the Second World War.
Right.
I think.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to be much help to you now.
Is that now the Trafalgar Studios? Is that where that is? That one that's just down towards the Houses of Parliament?
Could be. But I couldn't bank on it.
Anyway, if you'd like to go, it should be quite a show, then you can find tickets if you log on to our website, lbc.co.uk, or there is a ticket hotline, 0870 3800 973, 0870 3800 973 for Rick Mail as Alan Bastard in The New Statesman at the Trafalgar Studios. Location uncertain. But I think that's where it is.
Do you want me to look it up?
No. The New Statesman at the Trafalgar Studios with London's 97.3 LBC. Leicester, Anita.
Hello.
Hello, Anita.
Hi. How are you, Nick?
I'm all right.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
Just want to say, you're wondering what Jade's doing. Well, she's auditioning for Babe.
Babe?
Pig. A film.
Oh, the... Well, that's not very...
I'm sorry. I can't stand her, honestly. I just want to tell you that. And, what time do you finish today?
I finish tomorrow. Actually,
really?
1 a.m.
Okay, we'll be listening to you.
All right,
Great show.
Thanks,
yeah.
Anita.
So I thought I'd let you know.
Cheers.
Bye.
They've given a couple of suggestions in the Sun about what she should or might be appearing in. Return of the Jedi, and they've got her as Jabba the Hutt. And my personal favourite, and this is. I don't know. She takes it and just like bounces right off her. Jade Goody as Ming Kong. Isn't that awful?
By the way, it is the Old Whitehall Theatre.
Is it?
I just had a call.
Right, Trafalgar Studios. Yeah. See,
you were right.
So the Sun is desperately trying to make friends in Liverpool. You know, since the Hillsborough disaster and the Sun blaming it on the fans at Hillsborough, they haven't sold virtually a single copy in Liverpool because they all stick together. Well, they've desperately been trying to suck up to Liverpool this week. Count the amount of Liverpool references in this one small article. This is on one of the showbiz pages. My campaign to make Ray Quinn, that's the munchkin who just lost on the X Factor.
That was cruel.
My campaign to make Ray Quinn the X Factor king is gaining momentum. So says whoever writes this silly page. A poll on my website has the ex-Brookside boy neck and neck with Simon Cowell's favourite Leona Lewis to win Saturday's final. The cheeky Scouser had an early charge in my poll yesterday, but a late surge of Leona fans swung the vote her way. So we had two already in the first paragraph, Brookside and Scouser.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I looked, Ray had edged ahead with a slim advantage of 52% of the votes. My poll doesn't add up to the final result, but here's hoping that the people of Liverpool keep up the support and vote for Ray on Saturday night. Last night, Ray went back to the Pool to give a homecoming concert to his fans at the Met Quarter. He said, I really want to thank Bazaar for all your support. It's great to have our backing along with all these Scousers back home. Before she went on stage at the Hackney Empire, nervous Leona said it's a dream. It's so great, it's fantastic, stuff they come out with. Music's always been my life, she said. If I could win, it would be a fairy tale come true. Well, so it would. So that's 5 mentions of Liverpool in one small paragraph. They're really desperately trying to suck up and ingratiate themselves with the people of Liverpool by siding with Wolf Boy. He has the most alarming hairline. It seems to be approaching all the rest of the features on his face. I think it's something like 30% down, aren't they, or 70% down, or something alarming like that. And even now, even today, people in Liverpool aren't buying the Sun anymore. Which is called, holding a grudge. And, the people at the Sun are very upset about it because it's about nothing else than making money. The papers will be in?
They're in already, apparently.
Are they?
Yeah, they were here early today.
No way, Jose.
Way, Jose. Yeah.
Well, I know what they're going to be full of, so we'll have to pick the stories.
Would you like the Observer first? That's always your favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, all right, why not?
There might be some freebies, actually. That I was looking forward to. There was a good freebie in one of the papers today, and I cut the voucher out, and I read the voucher, but it was only valid for today. So I missed it.
A freebie of what?
Some beauty products. But you had to go to the store today. I was quite disappointed about that. I think that's a bit mean-spirited to only have it for that day. And if you couldn't get it to the shop in time, well, that's just tough.
Yeah, the Sun have had this, what do you call it? Advent calendar. And you pluck up like a co-promotion with The Simpsons. Like The Simpsons need advertising. I mean, often it's just the only funny thing on television that day, Sometimes it's a bit maudlin and a bit, not maudlin, it's not the right word, a bit syrupy. You can tell pretty much within the first 30 seconds whether it's going to be a funny one or a syrupy one. They've had a couple, and you pull off a door a day, and a Simpsons character is revealed underneath, and then you have to scour the paper. It's almost invisible, the thing that they, you have to match it with. But you have to call by 3:30.
Oh, see again.
I would have been devastated if I had won 50 quid and not been able to call by 3:30.
Do you get a chocky?
I don't think you get anything at all.
Oh. Not even your little chocolate. I haven't had an advent calendar this year.
Well, because you're grown up.
Well, I guess. But I was probably grown up the last few years as well, but I used to have one then.
Well, you had one as
Well, I'm...
recent as last year?
Well, yeah, I bought one.
For yourself?
Well, for both of us. Is that sad?
Well, it's... I don't know, sad. It's a bit...
We do stockings for each other as well.
It's a bit pathetic,
Is
really.
it?
You do stockings for each
Yeah.
other? Okay, here's what's in your stocking, right?
Okay.
A chocolate... something chocolate.
Is this the one
Nice
that...
bit of chocolate.
Is this the one that Alistair might be getting, or the one that I will be receiving?
Well, I don't want to, spoil your Christmas.
Well, no, don't.
Like
no.
last year. There's tangerine in it, right? Why do tangerines go in Christmas stockings?
I've got to have a Satsuma.
Well, yeah, Satsuma.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Satsumas are out and tangerines are in because they're easier to peel. Or something
Yeah, less
rubbish like
pips
that.
as well, often. Yeah, I don't know, but...
Doesn't that seem like some sort of Frankenstein fruit? Because how would the tree reproduce without pips? Impossible. The pips are the thing that makes a new tree grow, right?
Very true.
It's eaten by, squirrels or whatever animals graze around tangerine trees.
Is it squirrels?
Tangerine trees in marmalade skies.
I always see the squirrels running off with tangerines in my park.
And then they run away to another part where a tangerine tree isn't going, and they have, a small personal squirrel-related accident.
Or melon drops in their heads.
And they, they go and do their squirrel business.
Mm. Oh, no.
And lo and behold, a new tree grows. But if there's no pips, how does a new tree grow?
I don't know.
Well, think.
Or maybe the birds are distributing the pips, because they're
But there
probably
are
eating
no
them.
pips.
Oh, well, there must be in some of them.
Well, no, that's the point. There aren't.
Well, but
If you
they're,
could buy- if you could
they're
buy-
probably the ones that are being specially produced for us to munch through all the
Yes,
time.
exactly. Frankenstein fruit.
Yeah.
Is completely against the laws of nature.
Tastes good, though.
But aren't you concerned about that?
No.
That they're crossbreeding something that actually can't reproduce itself, only by man's intervention? I'm concerned about that.
Are you really?
Yes.
No, you're not really. You're not. Anyway, it wouldn't be Christmas without a Satsuma.
Yeah, but why?
Well,
I mean,
just
not an
wouldn't.
apple or an orange or a grapefruit.
I nearly didn't get one year, so I had a little sulk
poor
until I had
baby.
one. Well, my stockings have become a bit too lavish, the ones I've been receiving, and actually, that spoils it for me. I had a CD in one year and a DVD. That's far too expensive. I want little things that cost next
How
to
can you
nothing.
get a DVD in a stocking?
Well, that's it. The sock looked ridiculous. Well, it was a stocking, but it looked so misshapen. So I stick to little jobs that cost, a pittance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiffany earrings, that sort of thing.
Oh, no, I
Little
don't want that in a
gorgeous
stocking.
things. But why do Satsumas have to go in... that's just the weirdest thing. Because kids don't like fruit, but they're wrapped to get a Satsuma in the bottom of their stocking. That's just bizarre.
And the odd nut as well.
I mean, you'd have to put a
Walnut.
gun to the head of most children in this country to get them to eat a piece of fruit. But if, like you, if they don't get their Satsuma of a Christmas morning... Then they go into one of they throw themselves on the ground like I see them in Sainsbury's. Wah! And they're going.
Oh, dear. So, you're not doing stockings?
No.
Advent calendars?
Nope.
No. Christmas tree?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Real or fake?
Real?
Oh, good.
I'm going to have a fake Christmas tree.
And have you themed your tree? Have you got
I haven't got
particular
it yet.
colours? Oh. Will you? Will you theme it?
Theme it?
Yeah.
Well, put lights on it.
Coloured lights? Or white lights?
Oh, I think white.
Yes.
That gets the seal of approval,
Yeah, oh,
does it?
yeah.
Phew.
Yeah.
Great
So-
relief.
so-
Great relief all round.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Munch, munch.
Abbott.
Oh, lovely cup of tea. Thank you. Right then. Parachute training in the Army is to be halted for 4 years as part of a £1 billion cost-cutting programme by the Ministry of Defence. Oh my God. So they... This just gets... if it wasn't so serious, it would be comical. So let's just run through the list, shall we? They got boots that melt in the heat. They got rifles that jam in the sand. They got bullets that won't fire. Such that they had to put a video on YouTube. In fact, that's what the Ministry of Defence should be called. We're tubes. They said, oh no, there's nothing wrong with these bullets, and they didn't actually fire. Nothing wrong with these bullets, nothing to see here. Carry on with your work. Unbelievable. So where are we? Boots, rifles, bullets. They've got vehicles that have all the armour plating of tinfoil. They've got radios that don't work such that they have to communicate with each other by mobile phones. Whenever they're injured, we promptly ignore them, and their loved ones at home, their wives and children, are living in, cardboard boxes in the middle of the street. Unbelievable how we treat soldiers in this country. It's absolutely staggering. And now they're going to stop training them how to parachute. The proposals mean that Britain will be without a parachute-trained force for the first time since the Second World War, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But at least we'll have nuclear weapons, right, that we'll never be able to use at all, ever. Give me the circumstance in which we would use a nuclear weapon, Luce.
I can't.
You can't do it because we'll never use it. It's like I was explaining last week. You know, sometimes I get tired of being so right all the time. If some nutjob sent a nuclear bomb over here, then it won't have worked as a deterrent. Because he's a nutjob, right? Yeah. Like, that I'm mad in the head bloke. Total loon. He's a foaming at the mouth nutter, am I right? Mm-hmm. Yes. So if no amount of nuclear weapons on our part is going to stop him sending one over here. So it won't work as a deterrent. What's more likely is that some bearded loon will ship one over in a cargo on a cargo ship, in one of those hundreds of thousands of giant containers that come into our ports. That's how it'll come in. It'll just come in with wicker goods or whatever.
Or a wrapped Christmas present.
Exactly.
Oh, a bit more festive cheer, eh?
Yes, so it won't prevent that either, and nor will we be able to launch one at the people who've done it, because it will be just a bunch of loons, not an actual country. And, like I said last week, even if after a 2-year investigation we nailed down that it was that some of the money came from, the government of Syria, for instance, are we, 2 years after the fact, going to coldly push the button to send a bomb? Of course not. Because that would be, we'd have to be crazy. So that's not going to happen either. So there's no circumstance, apart from all-out global thermonuclear war, in which everyone dies, that we would ever use them. So what's the point? Anyway. Much more, it'd be much better to spend the money on actually equipping troops. I know that sounds like an old-fashioned thing to do, give them bullets that actually fire, or, stop them sharing around the body armour. Does a day go by where you don't read a story about some poor sap who gave his body armour to someone else because, his commander ordered him to do it, and then gets shot, and his life would have been saved if he hadn't given up his own body armour? I mean, that's just insane that we're sending people over there without this stuff, don't you think? Mm-hmm. It's not insane, it's just unforgivable.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, this is the front page of the Sunday Telegraph. Blair refuses to back Levy in Labour's loan scandal. It all becomes a thick, swirling mud of intrigue. And I think we all know who's guilty, don't we? Oh, yes.
Any freebies?
On this, no, it's a puzzle special.
Oh, a puzzle special?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. 4 pages of fiendish brain teasers inside.
Oh.
I can't be bothered with any of that stuff. Even if it's going to stop my mind from turning into sludge, I just,
You're not a Sudoku
I actually, no, definitely not. Well, it's just numbers. How can anybody get excited about numbers? Words, perhaps. I actually did finish the Telegraph crossword in full.
Very good.
On Friday, yes. Unbelievable.
That's very impressive.
Isn't that great?
Did you use anything to aid you?
A pen.
And that's it. Very good.
But it wasn't the complicated one. It was just the
the easy one.
Yeah, not very easy.
No.
I mean, the amount of times I've actually finished that whole thing in one day is I could count them on the fingers of one hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's quite tough.
It's not like some of the papers crosswords, like what is your name? Actually, that wouldn't work, would it?
No.
What's the name of this paper? What day is it? No, I was quite impressed. I almost did a little jig.
Did you send it off?
No, it's nothing like
It
that.
wasn't the competition
No,
one?
of course not. No.
Oh.
Never won a thing in my life, apart from a live Rolling Stones album, as I've previously described. Free inside the Sunday Express, your full 14-day Christmas TV thing. And and to illustrate this, they've got Harry Hill and Bruce Forsyth. Harry Hill and Bruce Forsyth?
Oh, no.
That's your Christmas highlights?
I thought you were a fan of Brucey.
No, I'm not a fan. How could you be a fan?
Well, you often sing his praises as someone who's managed to keep going.
Yes, well, you can't dislike him, but that's wildly different from being a fan. Like, I wouldn't cross the street to go and see him live, for instance, but how can you not like Brucey?
I'm kind of indifferent. All I can think of when I think of Brucey is him going, "Keep dancing."
What's that?
From his celebrity dancing thing.
Oh, I refuse to watch anything that's got celebrity in front of it. I didn't, unless it's, I guess I'll...
Apart from Big Brother.
Well, no, I haven't watched the Celebrity Big Brother.
But you did.
When?
That's the one we got you to watch.
No, that was Big Brother.
Chantel. Wasn't that Celebrity Big Brother?
No, I didn't watch the Chantel one, did I? Who else was in that house?
Oh, no, you're right. That's the one where the cat licking and the cream. Yeah, when he licked the cream.
No, I read about it, but I didn't watch it. No, I watched Big Brother, which lasts a lot longer.
I can't remember
by
who
the
was
way.
in that.
No, well, neither
Who
can
won,
I.
even?
See how quickly we
Isn't
forget?
that awful? I really
Who
can't.
won? Oh my God, my mind's
Even
a blank.
Oh no, I don't even know who that was in it.
Oh
no, I just don't know. It means nothing to me now.
Oh, that, the,
Who?
That rock and roller.
Oh, yeah. Pete?
Pete, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He looks relatively normal on the outside. Inside, his brain's going... That's the guy that won, yeah.
Yes. And that's the only one I remember.
And he's been lighting up S&M parties ever since, apparently. That's what you read.
He's getting married, isn't he? I read.
Really? Really?
Apparently.
Who to?
His ex-girlfriend.
And what does, what's her name think about it?
I hate this job!
That's the wrong
Apparently.
one. That's the second time I've hit the wrong button this show, and it's all your fault, Luz.
I take the blame for everything.
Inside, Brown to face new quiz over honours cash. Why are they even bothering? No one's going to be fingered by the long arm of the law about that whole thing. Because that's how honours are given out, traditionally, in this country. The whole thing's corrupt from top to bottom. Why are they even bothering? It's like the Tories have never done anything like that. Yeah, right. Part Lees. This is beginning to sound like Oprah Winfrey Show, isn't it? Parley's girlfriend. It's just silly. I mean, why are they going on and on and on about it? I mean, I know it's against the law, but so is almost everything else that happens in this country. Is the people in power. That's the benefit of being in power. You get to act above the law. It doesn't apply to you. Like it doesn't apply to rich people. Isn't that right? It's like if I fell asleep in my car going home and appeared to be stoned out of my good, do you think that I'd still have my driving licence, having done it 3 times?
Depends if you'd released some hit records.
Exactly. It depended if I had £100 million in the bank. Precisely. Right, The Observer.
Boring!
Yeah, you're right, it really is. The Food Magazine...
Oh, good. It's the Food Monthly, isn't it?
The Food Magazine, The Future of Food, starring Heston Blumenthal. Heston Blumenthal. You'd go over to that place, to his place for lunch.
Is he the science boy?
Yeah, right, I just need to reduce this sauce for 12 years. Can you wait? He's a nutter. How does anyone ever get fed in his restaurant? Website scammers close in on Cherie and her learned friends, it says on the front page of The Observer. I bet this story is boring as cheese on cracker.
Well,
Cherie
that's not
Bruce.
boring.
Well, it is. If you got no... Yeah, just ordinary cheese on a dry cracker.
Not if it's really good mature cheese. On a nice dry cracker. That's great.
No, you need a bit of... You need to wet it up a bit.
What, with a bit of butter?
Otherwise it just turns into concrete in your mouth.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
no,
I do know. You can...
No, with the cheese it's okay. Have you ever tried to do that cracker competition?
What's that?
You try and eat 3 crackers in 2 minutes.
Huh?
Absolutely impossible.
Rubbish.
It's impossible, I swear.
What kind of cracker?
A normal water biscuit. Do you
Cars
reckon?
water biscuit?
Well, cars are quite... Well, yeah, cars, yeah, could do cars. I was just thinking sometimes they're quite big, their biscuits, but actually you can get little ones, can't you, with them?
To eat 3?
In 2 minutes. I put it to you.
Oh,
you cannot
come
do
off
it.
That's rubbish. Of course you can.
You can't. I wish I had some here and you could have a go.
What, those little...
Yeah, 3 crackers.
They're about this, about sort of 1.5 inches across.
Well, yeah, you don't have to pick the smallest ones possible, but like, you know, like a normal, like a square water biscuit.
Yeah, well, a
Yeah.
round one, you mean?
Well, I
Water
prefer
biscuits.
square.
Small poche.
Actually, I think a round one's probably posher. But anyway, you couldn't eat one. You couldn't eat 3 in 2 minutes.
That's nonsense.
Next Saturday, I'm going to challenge you to it.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, bring them in.
I will. So there.
Don't bring ones that listeners will have sent in, because any food that listeners send in automatically has to go in the bin, am I right?
Yeah. No, I'll buy some on the
Because they
way.
might be crazy.
Crackers.
Yeah. Isn't that right, Tallulah?
Oh, yeah, crazy.
How are you?
Well, cool.
Speechless.
Pardon?
Speechless you are.
You surprised me there a tiny bit, yeah.
I surprised you. What, about the pigeons in, about the pigeons?
No, just suddenly asking me, Tallulah, hey.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But I'm okay, you know, flexible. And
You're flexible.
oh, yeah.
Well, that's great.
Have you seen my video?
No, I haven't.
I'm very flexible and fine.
I have been without the internet for because I've been cat stroking for a week, and I came back and I swear I had almost 200 emails in the space of 4 days.
Oh my God!
All of which were questioning my ability to maintain a
Hey, what?
and were asked to maintain an Hey. Where did that come from?
Special place.
Alex is adding his own sound effects now.
So basically you mean the filthy stuff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Almost 200 emails in 4 days.
Too many people have too many times on their hands.
Someone should do something about that, really. Someone needs to get a taser gun to these people and just just get them on the ground and deal out some justice, because this is insane. It must be 99% of the emails that are sent in the whole wide world are for Cialis soft tabs, whatever they are.
But I think I don't get much, but I would actually go onto the road and say, what do you want? Do it now, blah, blah, blah. I would actually go for that one because I think it's stupid, silly, waste of time, and a loss of energy or whatever it's called. Global warming.
Global bombing?
Warming you.
What?
Just trying to... It's intense. It doesn't make sense.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. I mean, it doesn't.
Right. So, moving on, because I don't think I can, let's not go back over it. So I didn't get it the first time, and we won't get it the second time either. But it's just crazy that someone, it's probably in Russia, was able to get away with this thing. Someone should take them out. They've been using polonium-210 on the wrong people. I read today that the polonium-210 that they used to kill what's-his-name cost £30 million.
Really?
Wow.
That's what I read today, yeah.
They could have done it a bit cheaper, surely.
Well, yeah. I would have done it for significantly less than that.
I've got a big problem. I don't really care about all these other things.
What?
Because I can't really make up my mind if I should take part and put up some lights. And, if you put them up, you have to take them down. That means double work. So, I've got brilliant Christmas cards I just opened yesterday, about 15 or 20.
Hey, isn't dragging a Christmas tree inside a German thing?
Could be.
No, I think it is. I think hacking a Christmas tree down and pulling it inside against its will
Could be W.
is a German thing.
Or BMW. Yeah. But...
Isn't that true? That it was initially started in Germany? In fact, isn't Santa Claus German?
Yeah. You see, since I'm in England, I don't really celebrate Christmas because I think I don't like it. Here. I like it in Germany, but I decided to be here. So.
Well, what's the difference between here and Germany?
Because the Queen, who should actually be my mother, she's celebrating it the way the Germans do.
The Queen, who should be your mother?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you mean?
J'adore. I just adore the Queen. I think she's brilliant.
All right.
I made this. It's my decision, my choice. You can't argue with that one.
Okay. You get no argument from me. She's super.
Yes, she is. She's absolutely brilliant and in style all the time.
But what's she got to do with Christmas?
Because she does, as far as I know, she does it the German way, where you have your Christmas ceremony in the evening of the 24th. You're opening your present in the dark, in the light of candles, and she does it the right way.
Right. Okay, so you open your presents on Christmas Eve, and then what do you get on Christmas Day? Disappointed?
No, that's when you go around to people and stuff yourself madly.
Right.
But it's so sweet and nice in the evening to do everything. You go to church and then you go home.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, church. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But what my problem was. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I received all these cards. You know, if I did it in email style, I would save a lot of,
Well,
time.
you'd save the planet for a start. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say, and you.
I don't think I'm going to send any Christmas cards at all this year. I just can't be bothered.
E-cards?
No. I mean, e-cards would make more sense because...
Well, don't you get the finger if you don't?
Huh?
Have you not bought Christmas cards either?
No.
Right. So I shouldn't bother to give you one then next week?
Oh, no, give away.
Oh, right, you're happy to receive?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I see, right. Isn't Christmas all about giving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me. It'll make you feel happier.
But Nick.
Yes.
But no, let's take this example. Some lovely Lucy will give you a Christmas card.
Yeah.
And
that's not the end of it. I hope, like some sort of present to show her appreciation, something like that.
Okay,
yes.
just think she just gave you a card, and you go quickly to the loo, have a pen with you, and say "and you," and give it back to her. Wouldn't it be?
And you. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that before? Tallulah, you're a genius. Thanks a lot, Tallulah.
Okay, then.
Ta-ta. Oh, I forgot to ask her how her parrot was.
What?
Excuse me, I'm trying to suck the sponge with chocolate covering with the smashing orangey bit in the middle. Trying to suck that off my teeth. One moment, please. How is something so cheap so great?
I feel like we're in your mouth.
I know, it's horrible, isn't it? The Sunday Times, going through tomorrow's papers. Oh, it's today's now. Doctors have been told not to wear ties on hospital wards because managers claim they could spread the superbug MRSA. You know what the most disgusting part of a gentleman's attire is? His tie. It's the thing that, because you're always touching your tie in this sort of masturbatory way, because we just can't help, fiddling with ourselves. Can you, Alex?
No comment.
But it also collects all of the germs off your hands.
Mm.
And it's in there in front of you as you're eating, like bits of food all over it. Even if you can't see the food, it's like sprayed with food particles, all sort of festering away on the front of your tie, and then you touch it with your hands, and then, it's just vile.
Mm.
Which is why a lot of doctors wear bow ties. They look ridiculous, but it's
is
much
that
more...
why?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Do doctors have to wear ties, then?
I think it makes them look more,
bona fide.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, if they've just got a doctor badge on, though, would that not help? I mean...
Well, you want, especially if you're ill, you want somebody who looks like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I suppose.
And someone in a tie always seems to know what they're talking about, even if they actually don't. Which is why people wear, suits in why the companies insist upon it.
That's why you've come in black ties.
That's right.
As you do every Saturday.
Every Saturday, yeah, I make such an effort.
And we bow and scrape.
Well, yeah. But they're going to be not wearing ties anymore, which is a pretty weak story to put on the front page of the newspaper. They haven't got much in here. Let's look up page 2. Charles plans a mansion fit for lovebirds.
Ooh.
The Prince of Wales is building a new home fit for fit not so much for a king as a daughter-in-law. He's put in plans a country house that some would say would be suitable for a young couple looking to settle down. Huh. Do you think they're having sensual relations yet, Wills and what's-her-name?
Well, they've been on holiday, haven't they?
Official, men are terrible shoppers. For Neil Fiore, it was a perfect Christmas gift for the lady who loved scented candles. For Neil Fiore, it was a perfect Christmas gift for the lady who loved scented candles. A bright red fire extinguisher wrapped in a white bow. Perhaps as a psychologist at Berkeley University, or Berkeley, isn't it, in California, he should have been prepared for the muted wail of outrage. But I wanted her to know it was practical, and I was looking out for her safety. Sadly, the relationship did not survive long after that. For Fiore and millions like him, what should be the joy of giving has become a stressful maze of missed hints, guessing games, and panic attacks that end in Christmas morning disappointment. And now my thing is backing up on me.
That's really nice.
Oh. And it is. It's like, have you given your other half hints? In fact, instructions on what he should buy you that you will receive as a surprise?
Maybe.
That's a yes, isn't it? Now social scientists believe they can explain why men are such unsuccessful Christmas shoppers and what they can do about it. You ready? This is information just in time, folks. Researchers at Tilburg University in Holland apparently have nothing else to do. Quizzed 35 couples and found that most were better at buying presents for strangers than for their partners. One of the authors said, "When you know someone, then you think you know it all." Huh? What? When you know someone, then you think you know it all. The solution, according to the report published, is for women to depend less on hints, and for men to ask more questions and to avoid overspending to compensate, which seems fairly. So, in other words, you tell them what to buy.
Yeah.
But that kind of gives away the whole
it does
thing of. Like, if you tell, you might as well go and buy it yourself.
Yeah, and then women feel a bit disappointed anyway. Even though they got what they wanted.
Did you keep the receipt, they'll say.
Yeah.
For men, the array of opportunities on the internet merely means more ways of getting it horribly wrong. Affluence has not helped. Women can often buy everything obvious that they want themselves, and some desperate men employ £200 a day personal shoppers who ask them to filter their wives' or girlfriends' clothing so they can get the correct sizes. To reduce this annual mountain of returned underwear... You can't return underwear, can you?
If you've kept the strip in.
The strip?
Yeah. In ladies' knickers, they often put a strip inside. And once the strip's off, you cannot return.
What, like they sanitise toilet seats, and they put a strip of paper over it?
It's a bit like a bit of sellotape.
So you can't actually squeeze your bottom into it and then give it back, because you've broken the strip. Is that right?
No, you can. You can squeeze it into it. But the idea is it sort of adds some protection. But a lot of companies do say you cannot bring underwear back. But you can with some.
To reduce its annual mountain of returned underwear, Marks & Spencer recently trained 200 men in 50 stores to help male customers to choose Christmas lingerie. Would you want to buy women's underwear from a bloke or a woman?
A woman.
Who was that?
Oh dear, now it's Alex's.
No, we're backing up all over.
Oh dear, and he's coughing all the time.
I haven't had a Jaffa cake, that's why.
Awful.
Oh dear.
Your turn, Liz.
No, I'm just listening to the two of you regurging your dinner.
It's like a chorus in here. It's our version of the Christmas carols. So, would you want to buy women's underwear from a bloke or a woman? A woman.
A woman.
Yeah. Alex?
Definitely a woman.
Well, they've gone to the trouble of hiring all these men so that men can buy ladies' underwear from men.
Well, my father tried to buy some underwear for my mother years ago, and when he asked... Oh, I've got to be quiet soon. But when he asked...
Hey, that was smooth.
That was, isn't it? Well, it makes me scared when that happens.
You could have fitted that story into that gap.
Come on, we're running late!
Hello, Joan.
Hello, Nick.
Joan.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Super duper. What's up?
Yes, I'm finally a bit organised. Got the house looking like a nice Christmassy house.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and ready for people to drop by.
If only they would.
And they did.
Oh, they did.
They did. They dropped by today.
Great. Anyone you know?
Yes, some of the family.
Super.
Yes.
Any fights?
Oh, it was quite nice. Quite nice. I baked some quick bread.
You baked them what?
Some quick bread.
Quick bread?
Yeah, that sort of scofer scone loaf.
Oh, right. Well, you couldn't be bothered to bake the proper
Well, it
stuff.
was taking about hours, and they were suddenly arriving, you know, and just put this in the oven, and it's already in half an hour, and it's good. And you
Yeah.
can put seeds in it and things like that.
Could.
So that was a good day.
Didn't. Could.
Pardon?
Could put seeds in it, but didn't.
I did.
Oh, like I said.
I did put seeds in it, and on top as well.
Well, you really have made an effort.
I did. It was,
I hope they appreciated it. Did they appreciate it?
they ate up like good people.
Right.
They can come again.
I'll take that as a
They
no.
were very nice.
Anyway, what's up, Joan?
Well, you were saying about nuclear weapons and no point.
Yeah.
Well, if Iraq had had a nuclear weapon, they would not have been invaded.
No, not been invaded.
Yeah, America wouldn't have gone in if they had actually had a nuclear weapon.
Oh, I think they would.
No, that's what they were busy doing for 12 years, checking,
Yeah.
that they didn't have any.
Right.
And now you've got Iran and North Korea, both sort of...
Yeah, they invaded the wrong country. You know, it sounds like Iraq, Iran. It's an easy mistake to make. They're all, you know, right next to each other on the map. They just happen to invade the wrong one. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, they're on the list. The next
Yeah,
ones
that's
are on
right.
the list, and of course they're letting it be known that yes, we've got weapons and we're working on them, and so America's saying, oh crumbs, that spoiled our fun for a bit. And if it's not a good idea, then why did America use them in Iraq? And why does America decide they've got to hold on to theirs?
I don't think they used atomic weapons in
They
Iraq.
did.
Oh,
They
did
actually used nuclear weapons.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, they did. To a great extent, more than was dropped on Hiroshima.
Nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Where'd you read that, Joan?
A chap called John Loughlin wrote it in the paper. It was a whole page article.
Oh, a whole page. Well, you should have said.
So, they did actually... Yeah, they have used nuclear weapons.
Yeah. They haven't, Joan, but never
They're
mind.
nuclear-powered weapons. Yeah, they did.
I don't think so, but...
Yeah, they did.
Oh, well, yes, they did. Well,
Yes, you know, all right,
you made
they're
a
not-
convincing argument.
It wasn't one atomic bomb, but it was, it was nuclear weapons.
Little ones.
And if they don't think
Atomic
it's a good...
bomblets.
If they don't want the world to have them, why do they have them? Why does America have lots and lots, all at the ready?
Well, so do we. So does
Yeah,
France.
and the reason is because
China.
it helps to, stop other people invading us.
Help stop...
Right.
who's going to invade us?
Well, you might not be able to think of
France?
something right now, but really, I mean, we would not have gone into Iraq if they'd had one. So that country would have been reasonably intact still.
Well, I don't think that's true because, that area of the map is where we get all our, is where we get all of the power that runs things that isn't run by the gas that comes from Russia, which is the next country we're going to have to invade because that seems to be run by some guy with helter-skelter in his eyes. Some loon who wants to take us back to before the wall came down.
Well, I think it's always still been in the agenda at the back of everything. I
Well,
don't think Russia's sort of given up.
Yeah, well,
suddenly.
we'll add them to the list of Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Syria,
North Korea.
North Korea, we said it as one, Russia, who else? Well, that's enough to be going along with.
Well, it is, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
that was on the original list. As soon as the 12/11 happened, suddenly it was Bush saying, oh, yes, well, on my list is Iraq, Iran, North Korea.
12/11.
Syria, that was the other one.
Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
Syria. Got a cuddly toy. This is like a generation game.
This is on his list. This is what I'm going to attack.
Yeah.
Not
A
they're
little,
going to attack me or anything.
Like a post-it
logical.
note. He stuck it on the fridge in order to remind him, yeah.
Well, he's probably forgotten. He's probably thinking, oh, goodness, where was the other one I was going to go in and bomb? But I
I've got it
do, I
written
think,
down here somewhere, yeah.
I don't think they would have touched Iraq.
If they'd had nuclear weapons. Yeah, you said that.
So
And
there is a reason, isn't there? You've got to admit there's
I
a reason.
completely disagree with you because they've got all the oil. And we can't allow a country like that to become unstable when when we require the oil that they've got.
Yes, but we made sure they couldn't have nuclear weapons. We made sure for 12 years that they wouldn't have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, good.
But when you say we've got to, what do you mean we've got to?
A few fewer loons in the world with nuclear weapons. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, but we've got one big loon, and that's America. And that's a very big loon, isn't it?
Well, as long as you don't say anything offensive.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Joan, I've got to go because I'm halfway through the papers, all right?
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
The Daily Mail. Number 10 secret memo, we are seen as a shambles. How do they keep, this stuff keeps getting leaked all the time? There's no such thing as a secure memo in the government, just like there's no such thing as security in the airports. Did you read the thing about somebody took... This is amazing. How on earth they got this through security, I do not know. Hang on a minute. Where is it? I'll skip by the papers today just for this one story. Passengers were thrown into a mid-air panic when 80 rats escaped from a traveller's rucksack. 80!
Are they bred on the way?
The plane was at 25,000 feet when 80 rats were spotted running around the cabin. Can you imagine that?
Oh, dear.
It wasn't until the plane had landed that it was discovered that the rats had been brought onto the plane by a passenger. The man admitted he had 80 live rats in a leather rucksack, and they managed to escape during the flight. He was handed over to security staff for questioning. Like, are you out of your mind? That would have been their first question. Well, first of all, what possible reason would you want to carry 80, never mind about 80 live rat onto a plane?
Were they special rats?
I've got no idea, Luz.
Well, I wondered if there was a point to him bringing over 80 rats. Are they super rats?
Maybe they were super tasty. Maybe he just really didn't like airline food and wanted something fresh to gnaw on.
Were they pet
over.
rats, or were they
Pet
wild rats? Well, because pet rats are quite nice. They're
Rubbish.
not so
They're
scary.
rats.
No, they're all right.
No, they're rats.
Rats are nice pets. Oh, I nearly said pats. My sister's had two rats, and
well,
they're really
I don't
sweet.
care. They're rats. They're not sweet. They'll
They
bite
are.
your face off.
No, they don't. They're like they act quite like dogs. Actually, they're very trainable. She used to be able to get it to come after her. It was very clever, and she just stayed on her, around her shoulders. And yeah, it was
this
sweet.
great long hairless tail.
It used to share her cup of tea in the morning.
Oh my God! It's a rat.
Yeah, it was a pet rat though. It was a little white one.
The most important question though is how the hell do you get 80 live rats through security? I mean, you put your bag.
And it's moving.
Yeah, you put your bag on a little carousel there, and it goes through the X-ray machine. How would 80 live rats not show up? Well, first of all,
That's
how would
how
they
good
not?
they are.
How would they not escape?
Lie still.
I mean, no, exactly. I mean, it's not like they're breaking out of cold bits, is it? They're not lying still and holding their breath. They're squirming around, aren't they? So how would they not get out of the bag as you lie on its side to go through the X-ray machine? And how dopey would you have to be running the X-ray machine not to notice that there's 80 live rats in a bag? There's no such thing as security in this country. There is no such thing as security. You know, because who are the people, no offence, but who are the people that are on airport security? Are they geniuses? Are they the people who have just come out of university with a degree in physics and chemistry? No, they're people who sit there all day long staring at a screen with people's hairdryers going by over and over and over again. Can you imagine how bored out of your mind you must be? So what kind of a person would apply for such a job? Exactly. Just the sort of person that you wouldn't want in what comes to be one of the most important jobs in the country, stopping planes blowing up in the sky. And they miss 80 rats in a rucksack. Incredible. So there's, all that waiting that you get before you go through airport security, you might as well just not bother. You might as well just wander in off the street.
Well, at least it was only rats.
Won't make the slightest bit of difference. 80 rats in a bag. I mean, that must have been some big bag, or they were just stuffed in there.
Maybe you should try some more combinations.
You squeeze them in there with a hammer. How would you get 80 rats in a bag?
10 chickens in a briefcase, maybe? Yeah.
5 gold rings. Labour has no chance of winning the next election because voters think the government is a shambles, says the front page of the Sunday Mail. There's little Gordon Brown can do to stop David Cameron becoming Prime Minister. That's the devastating verdict of a secret Downing Street memo drawn up for Tony Blair by his senior advisers and obtained by the Mail on Sunday. The confidential document states Labour's standing is so low that the party's only hope of recovering may be to abandon Gordon Brown and move to a new generation by picking a much younger new leader. I would agree with that. I mean, is anybody... hands up in there who's going to vote for Gordon Brown? Now hands up who's not going to vote for Gordon Brown? Oh, well, that's overwhelming. I mean, you know, of all his qualities, you know, he's a man in charge of all the money in the country, yet he's got apparently no idea how his own party is earning all its money, which seems incredible to me. You know, that doesn't sound prudent to me. Millions of pounds are coming in the door, and he apparently got no idea where it's coming from. The man who's running our money. Are we finding that a little bit amazing? Is that a yes? The public believes the party is riven by internal conflicts. You don't say. People who voted Labour in the last election are moving across to the Conservatives, and Mr Blair faces a very bad word beginning with S, or bust decision on how to stop the rot. A bleep or bust decision. On the front page of the Sunday Mail it's got that. Very bad word. That, you know, other people could get away with saying, but not me. Not here, not now. In fact, not ever. I never want to say stuff like that. Much more amusing to allude to it rather than to actually say it. Don't you agree, Luce?
I agree.
You can win the must-have and impossible-to-find Nintendo YI on the Independent. My Life is an Open Wound, an extraordinary interview with Robbie Williams.
Boring!
Robbie Williams. How has that man become so successful?
We've already discussed Jade Goody.
You're shaking your head.
At least Robbie has a bit more talent.
Does he?
Yes.
He can't.
On,
no, wait a minute. He can't sing.
He can
can't
sing.
No, he can't.
Oh, come on,
well,
he can.
Not in the great scheme of things, can he? Like, I can sing.
Better than Robbie?
Well, no, but you're making a statement that he can or can't, not better than.
No,
I mean,
you said he can't sing.
Well, no,
I said he can,
okay.
and you said you can sing.
You put him on the stage of the La Scala and tell him to do opera like a proper singer. Could he do that? No, of course not.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not pretending
could
he
he
can do opera.
project to the back without a microphone? No, of course not. He's not a singer. He's just a pop star.
But all
totally
pop stars couldn't sing opera, could they? On the whole.
Well, but some pop stars can actually sing.
But they still couldn't do it without a microphone, necessarily.
Not true.
How many can they?
Well, 6.
And I bet they're classically trained.
How many? What a daft question.
Well, you're the one saying it.
How many? When I say
very few, I think.
When I say he can't sing, what I mean by that is he's not a great singer. I mean, his guy's earned £80 million as a singer. You'd think he'd be one of the world's greatest singers, right? Well, he's absolutely patently not. David Bowie can sing. Robbie Williams cannot sing. He's a shouter.
He can sing.
He can't sing, he can't dance, and he's got the stage presence of a soap dish. How has he become as successful as he is?
Yeah, I don't think he's a dancer. I'll go with you there.
Only in this silly country. I mean, in no other country in the world is he the huge star that he is here.
Well, we've got to have some stars, haven't we?
It's actually painful to look at. You can't see him for his tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a few too many now. All up his neck and everything.
Horrible. Front page of the Independent on Sunday, more Tony Blair woes. Cash for honours donors say Blair misled police. Oh no. Cash for honours donors say Blair misled police. Tone. Millionaire Labour Party donors have contradicted Tony Blair's evidence to the police in the Cash for Honours affair, saying that they were nominated for their public service to the nation and not for services to Labour, as claimed by the Prime Minister. Tony's going down.
Abbot.
Yeah.
Okay, you know the NHS can't afford drugs to alleviate people's pain on cancer. They can't give you drugs that will save your sight unless you lose sight in one eye first. Isn't that incredible? No, that's not in, like, Rwanda or, some tin pot joke country far away that no one would ever go to on holiday. That's right here. If you've got a disease of your eyeballs, they won't give you the drugs to stop you going blind unless you go blind in one eye first. The NHS in this country. Unbelievable. So they can't do that. They've got no beds. They've got this, that, they've virtually shut up shop. Is there a single hospital that's actually still open? But the Department of Health blew nearly, guess how much taxpayers' money on a lavish 2-day party for themselves? That's right, £130,000 on a party. The 174 guests, this is in the Sunday Mirror, the 174 guests totted up a bill of £128,000 as they feasted on fine wines, food and fun. You remember fun, don't you? At the at an exclusive hotel. They also enjoyed a disco-free bar, goodie bags they had, and were presented with framed pictures of themselves on a mock Hello magazine-style front page. The party gimmicks even made fun of hospital superbug MRSA, which claims 5,000 lives a year. But when the fun stopped, Department of Health organisers slept in a £290 luxury suites at London's Russell Hotel, all at our expense. The event, attended by the Health Secretary Patricia Hewitt, was last night branded a disgraceful waste of public money at a time of cash crisis in the NHS. I mean, if it wasn't so serious, it would be funny, wouldn't it? The peephole. Have we come to the peephole too quick? No, we only got the Star and the News of the World to go, so I guess not. Billy's love crisis. Billy Piper. See page 7. Billy's new heartbreak. She fears losing jealous lover. Oh, truth. Who cares? On the front page, TV Tarrant's Nights with Married Love. Ah, here you go. See, this is what I was talking about earlier on. Why is Chris Tarrant going about with his unsignificant other, who's 50 years old? Didn't he choose to cheat on his wife with someone who was 50? Something of that order, right? Well, now, telly host Chris Tarrant has spent nights with a pretty assistant 20 years younger than him. That's more like it. But that still only makes her 40, which is, like an old woman. You'd think that if you were Chris Tarrant, Alex, put yourself in his position for just one moment, and, you were cheating with someone you shouldn't oughter, wouldn't they be like 20, 22, something like that?
Yeah.
Firm and pert. Not old and saggy. But maybe that's just, his taste. There's no accounting for it. Love Rat Tarrant, 60, has formed a close relationship with separated mum, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. That's the front page. With everything else that's happening in the world, that is the front page. In fact, the front page is like Billy Piper, Leona X Factor, and Chris Tarrant, 20 years younger, and on the inside, boobs, Abby Titmuss. Who is Abby Titmuss, by the way? I know I've asked this before, but I can never remember who she is.
She was John Leslie's girlfriend.
Right, who's John Leslie? Working backwards. John Leslie. Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Scottish fella.
Helped save Judy from embarrassment at the TV awards.
Oh, back to boobs. Right. Ballykiss star splits from wife. Who could possibly be interested in that? It's just who's doing what to whom. I just give up. I mean, well, why would you buy? Why
it's
would
your favourite paper as well?
The Peephole, yeah. Why would you go out and buy? I'm going to go out and buy the People. Who would do that?
I don't know.
I would like a personality breakdown of the people who would do that.
Shall I go to the supermarket tomorrow?
Can you do that
watch
for me? Yeah,
who's coming in
with a clipboard?
Yeah, and I'll write down their demographic.
Right, 2 left. The Star and the News of the World. I'll get to those in just one moment. Here's one in Brixton. Hello, Dave. Dave? Have I done it right?
You've done it right. Dave should be there.
All right.
Hello?
Yes, Dave.
What do you think of the idea of the electorate writing out their own manifesto, getting their so-called MP or whoever wants them to vote for them to sign it? I mean, a strict legal document, and if they don't sign it, then you don't vote for them.
Can you précis that for me, Luz?
MPs come round canvassing for you to vote for them.
Yeah.
They want to know if they got your vote.
Right.
Well, you present them with your manifesto.
Right.
I mean, it would have to be like a collective manifesto, drawn up by people in your area.
What? And they'd promise, honest and true, that they'd really do it.
Yes, I mean the document could be made legal because it doesn't have to go through Parliament or anything.
Right.
Like that.
Are you reading the papers lately? Legal's got nothing to do with it.
No, if they signed it,
then they'd still rip it up as soon as they got in.
They'd still
rip it up as soon as they got in. Yeah.
Then they'd have to forfeit. I mean, the document would read.
What would the forfeit be? They had to crawl around the room on all fours, barking like a dog.
Well, no. Such as
they could saddle them up and ride them around the room like a donkey. You have a little think about it, Dave. All right, I'll come back to you in a moment. Bill Buckley's coming in after the new news, by the way. This one in the News of the World. Top Gear presenter James May is threatening to quit the show unless he gets a massive pay hike. Well, he's not the one who should quit the show. They should fire the short guy, because he doesn't give anything to the show at all. He's just got this really wide-eyed, aren't I cutesy cute look to the camera. And he's not funny and he's not interesting. Every time he tests one of those cars, you think, oh, for the next 5 minutes I've got to watch this bloke until Jeremy Clarkson comes back on and it resumes funny again. Because he's just too... Ooh, aren't I so cute? And it's like, God, no, you're not, mate. Not to me, anyway. Not to anybody who watches that show. You go and appeal to your female fan base, your middle-aged female fan base, because that's not us. Women don't watch that show. Why is that man on that programme? And you know what? They'll never be able to fire him again. Ever. They'll never be able to fire Richard Hammond because he had a crash. Isn't that awful? He's going to be one of the biggest and highest-paid TV personalities ever because he had a near-death accident. Well, so did I.
We really should have got you more coverage with your near-death accident, shouldn't we?
Top Gear presenter James May is threatening to quit the show unless he gets a massive pay hike. Fuming May, nicknamed Captain Slow, wants big bucks, as his two, or the same money as his two co-hosts, Clarkson and Hammond. They both receive, guess how much?
Don't know.
For presenting the BBC Two show.
What, per show or per year?
Yeah, I guess per season. £1 million of our money. That's right.
Hammond gets that.
Hammond and Clarkson.
And what does May get?
Them, guess how much he gets?
500.
They get $1 million. He gets 40 grand.
Oh, no.
Isn't that shocking?
That is terrible.
I can't believe that.
Is that $1 million each or between them?
Yeah, each.
What?
Well, that's unfair. If they're all doing it, they should all be on the same, surely.
Well, like everyone in radio should all get the same money.
Yeah. I mean, we should get paid $1 million like you get.
His overall Beep salary is £100,000, thanks to the new show Oz and James' Big Wine Adventure, but the huge Top Gear paid golf has prompted May to demand a showdown with bosses before his contract runs out in 4 months. Source close to May said James is on a tiny fee compared to the other two. He's always been overlooked by the BBC. He'll refuse to sign up again unless he's offered a far better deal than the current one. Well, I trust what he says much more than that hamster, who doesn't seem like if I had to bet on it, he would know anything as much about cars as I do.
Oh, I think he knows quite a bit, don't you think?
Well, he knows where the steering wheel is, just like me. But crucially, he's not funny. I mean, if Jeremy Clarkson didn't know anything about cars, it wouldn't make the slightest bit of difference, because he's funny. Hamster isn't. Get rid of Hammond and keep James May, because at least he could... See, if your car broke down, James May could probably rebuild it from scratch, right? That's the sort of bloke you want on that programme. Someone who, does steam engines in their spare time. Do you know what I mean? Not just some blonde, bland, put him on any TV show, identikit presenter, which is what Hammond is. But of course you can't say that these days, because he had a crash. It would be offensive to his... Well, memory's not quite right, but...
No. You're keen on him, then?
Well, not really. I just don't know why he's such a giant... But, if you want to be big...
I think he's sort of seen as a cheeky chappy, isn't he?
No, he isn't, though. He's a DJ. Need I say more? Have we got an ad break coming?
No.
OK. And, OK, the Daily Star. Is there anything in it? Hey, Paul Ross has got a column in the Daily Star.
He's on tomorrow.
Is he? What time?
Breakfast show.
Ah, what time?
7. He'll probably be asleep.
I will be asleep. Yeah, if I can make it
Getting ready for next week's big shows.
Oh, yeah. If I can make it to 9 o'clock and still remain asleep, I feel that the day has started, in a positive way. So, I'm sorry, Paul. I'll catch you up on the podcasts. How's that?
You can listen to Carol.
No, I'm working.
Oh.
The police in Devon and Cornwall receive hundreds of time-wasting calls on 999 every day, including complaints about phone batteries running out, builders making too much noise, and a report of a large owl sitting on a telegraph pole. Up to 70% of the 999 calls that come in are hoaxes or stupid calls like this. Someone else rang the emergency number to report a pigeon in their garden, while one caller asked the police to deliver a pizza. One woman dialed 999 because she found herself in a tight spot because her trousers didn't fit.
On FM.